in the land, sea, air, conventional, and even the nuclear domain. It's also time to call the schoolboy bluff of the Pakistanis with regarding to their brandishing these nuclear weapons. See, we will not go by the red lines that they tell us that these are the red lines. We know what their red lines are, and we will so orchestrate the battle so as to keep it below the threshold of the nuclear dimension. So I think in sum, the Pakistanis have committed a grievous error in that gruesome, dastardly assault where they fell so low that they resorted to religious terror, communal terror, religious targeting, where, honeymoons were turned into funerals, where fathers were gunned down to death in front of their sons. This is a big challenge for India and its statecraft. And I have little doubt that this time Pakistan will feel the might and potency of Indian military power being unleashed on them. Thank you.
सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिर्फ जल जीरा मसाला
हर भारतीय का खून आतंकी हमले की तस्वीरों को देखकर खौल रहा है।
इंडिया विल आइडेंटिफाई, ट्रैक एंड पनिश every terrorist. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Republic TV. I'm Yesu Bharadwaj, and the Indian Navy continues its exercise in the Arabian Sea simultaneously as the Pakistan Navy also is continuing its exercise in its waters. We're tracking the details for you very closely, but first here are your headlines. Amid sleepless nights in Islamabad, Pakistan appoints ISI Chief Asim Malik as new National Security Advisor. Major revelation in NIA probe: 4 overground workers played a crucial role in assisting Pakistani terrorists with a record ahead of the terror attack. Indian Navy conducts mega surface and subsurface exercise in the Arabian Sea. Exercise to continue till the 2nd of May. BSF troops in collaboration with Punjab Police recovered a substantial cache of arms, ammunition and grenades in Amritsar. As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, Republic reports from the border's frontline. Viewers, the countdown has begun and India's military might is on high alert. The tri-services have been given a free hand by Prime Minister Modi to retaliate against Pakistan following the dastardly Pahalgam terror strike. With its formidable arsenal, cutting-edge technology and battle-hardened forces, India is poised to deliver a crushing response to Pakistan's state-sponsored terrorism. Take a look at this.
कश्मीर के पहलगाम में हुए आतंकी हमले के बाद भारत पाकिस्तान को करारा जवाब देगा और इस बात से पाकिस्तान डरा हुआ है, सहमा हुआ है, पाकिस्तान के पसीने छूट रहे हैं। उसके पीछे की वजह है इतिहास, भारत के शौर्य का इतिहास, भारत के विजय का इतिहास। और आज उसी इतिहास की एक बानगी हम दिखाने जा रहे हैं आपको। मैं इस वक्त जहां खड़ा हूं, जिस टैंक पर खड़ा हूं, ये एक टैंक है। ये एक टैंक है। 1965 के जंग में पाकिस्तान की तरफ से पैटर्न टैंक का इस्तेमाल किया गया था और उस टैंक को कैसे बर्बाद कर दिया गया, यही वो टैंक है। और ये दरअसल असल उत्तर की लड़ाई हुई थी। असल उत्तर गांव है पंजाब के असल उत्तर की लड़ाई में भारतीय सेना ने शौर्य का परिचय देते हुए, बहादुरी का परिचय देते हुए पाकिस्तानी टैंकों को तबाह कर दिया था और कब्रगाह बना दिया था। तो मैं इस टैंक को दिखाऊं उससे पहले आपको दिखाता हूं, ये वो गांव है। दरअसल असल उत्तर गांव में ही खेमकरण सेक्टर के पास असल उत्तर गांव, जहां पर पाकिस्तानी सैनिक पहुंच गए थे और उस वक्त टैंक लेकर, ये टैंक अमेरिकी टैंक उस वक्त का सबसे एडवांस टैंक होता था और उस टैंक का बहादुरी से सामना किया। खेमकरण सेक्टर पार करते हुए यहाँ तक असल उत्तर तक पहुँच गया था पाकिस्तानी सेना का जो टुकड़ा समूह है। और उस रेजिमेंट के साथ साथ करीब 250 टैंक था, बेहद आधुनिक टैंक। और इन टैंकों का इस्तेमाल उस समय अमेरिका करता था और उस एडवांस टैंक को पाकिस्तान को दिया गया था। और हमारी सेना के पास सेंचुरियन टैंक्स थे, सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर के वक्त के टैंक्स। और तब भी आप समझिए कि ये जो युद्ध स्थल असल उत्तर का, वहां पर सबसे ज्यादा नुकसान उठाना पड़ा और अब तक की सबसे बड़ी जीत मानी जाती है। पंजाब के खेमकरण सेक्टर में जब तारीख 8 सितंबर 1965 को पाकिस्तान ने सबसे बड़ा हमला बोला था, उसकी बख्तरबंद और इन्फेंट्री डिवीजन ब्यास नदी पर बने पुलों की ओर आगे बढ़ रही थी और उनके लक्ष्य थे अमृतसर, जालंधर और फिर अंत में दिल्ली पर कब्जा करना। इस हमले में सबसे बड़ी ताकत यही वो टैंक थे, जो पैटर्न टैंक है जिसे हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं। सबसे बड़ी ताकत यही थे। पैटर्न टैंक का मुकाबला करने वाले 3री कैवलरी रेजिमेंट के उस वक्त मेजर विक्रमादित्य थे। और इन सब के बावजूद, ये तमाम जो टैंक है उसके बावजूद युद्ध में पाकिस्तान को करारी हार इसलिए हुई क्योंकि हमारी सेना की शौर्य, हमारी सेना की बहादुरी थी, जिसके आगे ये तमाम आधुनिक टैंक टिक नहीं पाए। पाकिस्तानी सेना को शुरुआती सफलता तो मिली थी उस वक्त जब खेमकरण सेक्टर पर कब्जा कर लिया, लेकिन रणनीतिक तौर पर भारतीय सेना ने चक्रव्यूह रचा और यही असल उत्तर को बैटलफील्ड बनाते हुए इन टैंकों की घेराबंदी की। सैनिक गन्ने के खेत में छिप गए थे और उसके बाद सुबह 9 सितंबर को पाकिस्तानी टैंक को इस जाल में फंसा लिया था। यहाँ पाकिस्तानी सेना में खलबली तब मच गई जब इस टैंक को तबाह किया जाने लगा। और आपको बता दें कि 97 टैंक, कुल 97 टैंक नष्ट हुए थे और 97 टैंक जो नष्ट हुए थे उनमें से 72 पैटर्न टैंक, इस तरह के पैटर्न टैंक 72 थे जिसे नष्ट किया गया था। और आज भी इसे विजय के प्रतीक के तौर पर, जीत के प्रतीक के तौर पर यहाँ रखा गया है असल उत्तर में। और इसके आगे भिखीविंड में भी इस तरह के टैंक रखे गए हैं और ये बताता है कि हमारी शौर्य, हमारे विजय गाथा कितनी बड़ी है। यहाँ ये 5 टैंकों का सिर्फ भारत को नुकसान हुआ था, 32 टैंकों को चालू हालत में हमने कब्जे में ले लिया था और 72 टैंकों को तो कब्रगाह हमने बना दिया था। 97 टैंक्स कुल तबाह हुए थे जिसमें 72 पैटर्न टैंक्स थे। वो पैटर्न टैंक जो अमेरिकी आर्मी इस्तेमाल करती थी 1952 से, और इसमें टैंक M48 था जिसमें 90 mm मेन गन, ये मेन गन जो है आपको, ये जो हम दिखा रहे हैं ये वाला हिस्सा, ये 90 mm मेन गन था। इसके अलावा इसमें .50 कैलिबर ब्रॉइंग मशीन गन एंड .30 कैलिबर M73 मशीन गन था। लेटर वर्जन जो बाद में वर्जन आया इस टैंक का M60 मेन गन ऑफ 105 mm जो लाया गया, इसके 3 अलग अलग मॉडल थे, M47, M48, M60। लेकिन इतने अत्याधुनिक टैंक को भी हमारी सेना ने 1965 की जंग में तबाह कर दिया था और कब्रगाह बना दिया गया। असल उत्तर को माना जाता है पैटर्न टैंक का कब्रगाह, और ऐसे कई पैटर्न टैंक भिखीविंड में रखे गए हैं। वहां की भी तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखाएंगे, और यही वजह है कि आज पाकिस्तान थर-थर कांप रहा है। तो ये वो विजय गाथा है। उसे पता है कि पाकिस्तान को पता है कि भारतीय सेना ने अगर बर्बाद करने की ठान ली पाकिस्तान को, तो बर्बाद होकर रहेगा।
Viewers, in fact, not just the Navy, Coast Guard has also increased the patrolling in the northwestern region. As per sources, patrolling has been increased along the international maritime boundary line by the Coast Guard of India. India continuously at it when it comes to showing its naval prowess. The Indian Navy, while it's carrying a drill in the Arabian Sea, now the Coast Guard has also joined in and is carrying cross drills in collaboration with the Indian Navy. Viewers, with tensions rising with Pakistan each day, India is keeping its forces ready at the borders. The Indian Army shows its prowess. Take a look at this video.
You joyride, you take the fight, bring laurels to the countryside. In a predators of tank men, you're a brave man, you're a tank man. Be proud to be a tank man. Be proud to be a tank man. There's no one like a tank man. There's no one like a
Viewers, the devastating Pahalgam attack that claimed the lives of 26 innocents has resulted in fear among the residents of border areas in northern Kashmir districts. The rising tension has compelled the people of Karna, Keran, Machil, Budnamal, Kumkadi, Marsari, Chaukibal and other places to prepare for the worst. The people in these areas have begun cleaning and repairing underground bunkers to cope with any potential eventuality due to rising tensions between the two nuclear-armed neighbors, India and Pakistan. Viewers, almost 30 kilometers from Rajouri district is the village Pokharni, which is the last village of the Indo-Pak border. The villagers there have seen mortar shelling in the past. In fact, my colleague spoke with the villagers of Pokharni. Here's that report. Take a look.
After Pahalgam attack, there has not been a single day when the people residing at the border of the Indo-Pakistan have slept peacefully. Every day there has been a constant fear of some crossfiring, of some shelling, of the clashes which could anytime escalate, and that is the reason why from all the way from the Rajouri city we have come here to the last village. We are not going to reveal to the viewers, to our viewers, that exactly at what point our army is deployed, at what point exactly the fencing has been done. But I will ask my camera person Gaurav to show you exactly how this last village of Indo-Pakistan border looks like, because this is the same place which has seen several ceasefire violations from the other side. Also, they have also faced mortar shelling in the past as well, and therefore after Pahalgam attack they have been in constant fear, and they fear that any time, any point of the night something big can happen. Also, my camera person Gaurav, the mountains which right now is on our frame is the Pakistan mountains, and we can analyze from standing from this village only that the Pakistan border is not much far, and that is why this is the Pokharni block, which is the last village of India, and that is the reason why right now the farming, the harvesting, every agriculture work has completely been stopped and halted by the farmers who are residing here. We have with us Mohammad Rashid, who is the native of this village and also who has seen in past several such mortar shelling from the other side as well. Rashid ji, इससे पहले भी कई बार ऐसा हुआ होगा जब आप लोगों ने क्रॉस फायरिंग की, शेलिंग की, जो
शेलिंग होता रहा है सर, मेरे भी गोली लगा हुआ है पीछे पीठ में। अच्छा। ये भी भी 10-20-25 साल हो गए। मेरी बहन भी वो शेलिंग से मर गया और हमारा माल मेशी भी ख़त्म होता रहा। ये शुरू से जो फायरिंग शुरू होती है पाकिस्तान हिंदुस्तान की, तो हमारे लिए बहुत मजबूर है। और ये ये पहलगाम का जो हमला हुआ है, हमारे भाई वो मर गए, तो वो दुश्मन ने वार किया और हमारे पर किया, वो हमारे मार गए भाई, और वो भी बहुत अफसोस बात है। और हमारे बच्चे खौफ खाए हुए हैं, हम अंदर पानी के लिए जाना मुश्किल है।
काफ़ी सारे लोगों के गोली लगी है और माल मवेशी मरे है, इसलिए फायरिंग बहुत होता है। हम 3 सुबह पानी, अभी भी हम उस जो उधर है ना अरसा हुआ, हम सुबह पानी लेते हैं, दिन में हम पानी का चश्मा, हमारा चश्मा वो सामने दिखाई दे रहा, आपकी गाड़ी यहाँ से नीचे आई होगी, हम उधर से सुबह पानी लेते हैं, हो सकता है शायद दिन में फायरिंग चल जाए, हम कहाँ जाएंगे। अभी छोटे छोटे बच्चे, इनको क्या करेंगे, हम ही डरे हुए हैं। वो भी हमारे भाई हैं, वो कोई दुश्मन नहीं, हमारे भाई हैं वो भी। हाँ, बेकसूर बेचारे मरे, वो सैर के लिए आए थे, अच्छा नहीं किया, ये जुल्म किया। ये
This is the reality of the last village and what people are going through, what the Kashmiris are going through, and what is their constant fear. They have full faith on the forces. They know that the forces will save them, and also they know that any point of time when the ceasefire will be violated by Pakistan, or if the cross firing starts, then the uttermost important thing for them is that they have to stock up their ration, they have to stock up everything in their house, so that in that case they know very well they will not be able to leave their village and go outside and buy something. And this is the constant fear they are in, and they also believe that any point of time now anything could happen, looking at the seriousness and the gravity of the situation. But now showing you exactly, not much far, almost 0.5 kilometer away, after this mountain is the Pakistan's village Khurata, and this is the utmost fear, and this is the last village of the border from where I am reporting, with almost 2,500 to 3,000 villagers residing here. This is the utmost difficult situation for them right now, in the constant fear, and every night is the sleepless night for them here.
Viewers, now recent tensions along the India-Pakistan border have intensified, particularly following the Pahalgam terror strike, which has led to a significant spike in military activities in India. Now, Pakistan, which is already equipped with J-17 Thunder fighter jets, has reportedly been ramping up its defense capabilities. Allegations suggest that Turkey may have contributed to Pakistan's military build-up, with speculations around the potential supply of the Bayraktar TB2 drones. However, Turkey has denied these claims completely. Take a look.
As tensions between India and Pakistan simmer once again, a new actor appears to be inching closer to the stage. With the rhetoric of brotherhood and symbolic gestures of military cooperation, Turkey is projecting itself as a stakeholder in South Asia's volatile geopolitics. But behind the optics lies a fragile proposition. Turkey's defense industry, led by Bayraktar TB2 drones, has certainly made headlines in recent years. The TB2 was initially celebrated for its effectiveness in asymmetric theaters like Libya and the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war, where Turkish drones helped Azerbaijani forces overwhelm Armenian positions. However, that success did not translate when facing more advanced militaries. In Syria, during clashes in Idlib, Turkish drones faced Russian-made air defense systems like the Panzer S-1. Reports later confirmed that several Bayraktars were shot down, with open-source analysts estimating dozens of drone losses in a matter of days, exposing their vulnerability in contested airspace. Similarly, in Ukraine, when Turkish TB2s were used by Kiev against Russian forces, their initial impact faded quickly. Russia's layered air defense and electronic warfare capabilities made TB2s nearly obsolete within months. By mid-2022, Ukrainian officials themselves admitted that TB2s were becoming ineffective due to Russia's improved counter-drone measures. These examples serve as a warning. Turkey's drone warfare excels in asymmetric environments but fails when faced with integrated, technologically advanced militaries like India. Unlike Armenia or militias in North Africa, India possesses a sophisticated battle-hardened military. With over a decade of counterinsurgency and high-altitude warfare experience, combined with a deep inventory of Russian, Western and indigenous systems, the Indian military is not a force Turkey or Pakistan can intimidate with off-the-shelf drones or symbolic defense deals. India's air defense network, including systems like Akash S-400 and indigenous radar integration, is designed to neutralize threats like the TB2. Its electronic warfare and cyber capabilities further compound the challenge for any adversary hoping to use low observable or remotely piloted platforms. For Turkey, engaging with Pakistan in South Asia is a political gesture. Ankara gains visibility in the Muslim world, appeases its domestic Islamist base and tries to revive its Ottoman-era image of leadership in Muslim geopolitics. But should conflict escalate, Turkey has the luxury to disengage. Pakistan does not. Moreover, tying Pakistan's defense strategy to Turkish support creates a dangerous dependency. Unlike China, Turkey has no border, no forward bases, and no direct stake in Pakistan's regional survival. In a real conflict scenario, Turkey will be watching from afar. Pakistan will be fighting and absorbing the consequences. For Turkey, antagonizing India is a high-risk, low-reward venture. Pakistan must not forget that India's annual defense budget dwarfs Pakistan's by nearly a 10:1 ratio. Its defense ecosystem is increasingly self-reliant, integrated, and adapted to the subcontinent's operational environment, unlike Turkey's export-grade equipment, which has shown clear weaknesses when tested in high-threat zones. Therefore, tactical cooperation and arms deals can offer marginal benefits, but they do not change the broader strategic imbalance. Pakistan's recent public enthusiasm about a brotherly alliance with Turkey risks becoming a strategic distraction. It promotes the illusion of external backing in a conflict where realistically Pakistan will stand alone. As history shows, foreign partners may offer words and weapons, but not always protection. Turkey's own battlefield track record shows clear limits. Its drones and military exports may be headline-friendly, but their battlefield credibility collapses against peer adversaries with real-time electronic warfare, air denial, and satellite-backed targeting, all of which India possesses. What appears today as solidarity may turn tomorrow into abandonment, leaving Pakistan to absorb the fallout alone. Again.
BSF troops in collaboration with the Punjab police recovered a substantial cache of arms, ammunition and grenades in Amritsar. We'll get you all the details into this bust right after this short break. Stay tuned to Republic TV.
$13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in impeace. Pakistan.
Images come before my eyes. And in my own career, these images have influenced me, and I'm sure in your lives as citizens, these images have haunted you as well. I was very young when the Mumbai terror attacks happened, but I was old enough to read about it. I could sense the anger, but the problem was the anger was not channelized. The idea is simple of all these terrorists: kill one, frighten 10,000. That's the principle of terrorists. But what if 10,000 are responded to by 10 million? What if there is a group of Indians so loud, so passionate, who have so much belief in the country, that their collective voice is a roar that everyone, including political parties, have to respond to? That is the principal reason, the only reason driving me to launch the Nationalist Collective once again. And I'm calling upon all nationalist Indians to have the faith in the Republic Media Network, to have the faith in me to bring together the Nationalist Collective.
Viewers, now the Indian Navy has issued 4 green notifications for firing in a coastal area off the Gujarat coast, just 85 nautical miles from the region where Pakistan is currently conducting its naval drills in the Arabian Sea. These notifications are meant to ensure safety by alerting civilian and commercial vessels to avoid the designated zones during military activities. Here's a report on that. Take a look.
The tremors from New Delhi have reached Islamabad. Rattled and panicked, Pakistan is on the back foot. Prime Minister Modi granting the Indian Armed Forces full operational freedom to avenge the Pahalgam massacre has thrown Pakistan into a frenzy. And India has intensified its military readiness. The Indian Navy has issued 4 green notifications for firing in a coastal area off the Gujarat coast, just 85 nautical miles from the region where Pakistan is currently conducting its naval drills in the Arabian Sea. Indian Navy has been carrying out various exercises with more demonstrations scheduled over the coming days. The firing notifications are valid from April 30th to May 3rd, 2025. Pakistan has issued its 4th naval missile firing notification in the past week, but has not launched any missile on the previous 3 occasions. The Indian Navy is closely monitoring the situation and Pakistan's activities in the region. These live drills come days after the indigenous guided missile destroyer INS Surat tested a medium-range surface-to-air missile. As India prepares to cut Terror State Park deep, the growing chorus is one: revenge next.
The Indian Navy conducts mega surface and subsurface exercise in the Arabian Sea. The exercise will continue till the 2nd of May. We're getting you all the details into the exercise right after this short break. Stay tuned to Republic TV.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते
Sir, fans हैं शोर तो करेंगे ही ना?
नए वाले नहीं करते. And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me आए तो और
Cricket fans.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार. MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने. I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in peace. Pakistan is responsible for my exodus from my home. It is responsible for killing my people. It's responsible for burning my schools, my home, raping my women folk, involving locals to see to it that I'm out of my house. And nearly 4.5 lakh people from my community, the entire community, left their homes and they were in the refugee camps in Jammu and other places of this country. And today also they are in the refugee camps in Jakti, near Udhampur.
Summer is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Good afternoon and thank you for tuning in. You're watching Live and Breaking at 2 p.m. I'm Suesha Sawant. From getting you ground reports from border areas to also taking you through details of how the Indian Navy is holding drills at the Arabian Sea. We have you covered on all that you want to know. First, a quick check of the headlines we're tracking. After Navy, Coast Guard has now heightened patrolling in the northwestern region. Indian Navy conducts mega surface and subsurface exercise in the Arabian Sea. Exercise to continue till the 2nd of May. Supreme Court refuses to hear Pahalgam attack plea, says do not demoralize our forces. As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, Republic reports from the border frontline. BSF troops in collaboration with the Punjab police recovered a substantial cache of arms and ammunition and grenades in Amritsar. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates Waves 2025 to boost India's global media and entertainment reach. First up, we get you details of what is transpiring as far as the investigation into the Pahalgam terror attack is concerned. 10 days after the attack, we are learning of how the NIA chief has already reached the Baisaran Meadows to take a review of the situation and submit a final report today. The NIA chief is accompanied by 2 IGs, 1 DIG and the local SP, high-level teams that are conducting on-ground assessment and holding briefings with the local police and intelligence units in the local hotel at Pahalgam. Here's that report.
NIA chief is in the Kashmir Valley and here he has reached to Pahalgam. He's being accompanied by 2 IGs, 1 DIG and SSP rank officer. There are marathon meetings going on here at the Pahalgam where my VJ Mubashir is showing you the visuals. This is Pahalgam where the marathon meetings were carried by NIA chief. The high-level team conducts on-ground assessment and holds briefings with the local police and the intelligence units here in the local hotel at Pahalgam. NIA teams overseen by the senior officers intensified the search for evidence, examining eyewitnesses and interrogating overground workers and arrested terrorists from the groups like LET and HM. As far as the NIA chief's visit to Pahalgam is concerned, he also held meetings here with the Jammu and Kashmir police to strengthen joint efforts in combating terrorism and dismantling support structures that aid such activities. Meanwhile, we are picking that the NIA has already identified 14 local terrorists aged between 20 to 40 affiliated with Pakistan-backed terror outfits who were providing the logistics support to foreign terrorists involved in the Pahalgam attack. As far as the NIA chief's visit is concerned, we are saying it is going to be a day-long visit. He has also visited the attack site, and again the NIA is taking the samples. They are again doing the recce of this, and we are also picking that the satellite phones have also been recovered. Earlier, these who carried this attack, the terrorists, have also carried a recce in Aru before Baisaran, Aru, Chandanwari and other places, but due to the highest security measures found on the ground, they changed the venue from these locations to Baisaran. In Baisaran, 26 people lost their life and 17 got injuries.
And well, even as tensions are escalating between India and Pakistan, the people living at the border who are now preparing for any situation that could arise, farmers in Arnia who have now harvested their crops 2 to 4 weeks in advance because they don't want to face the risk of any uncertainty. Here's that report.
In the Arania sector of the Jammu international border, the students are being taught. They are being taught that how to respond to any situation that arises out of the firing from across the border. Right now, we are at the Indo-Pakistan international border, and here in this class, you will see that the teachers are telling the students that how to go ahead with the case. There is a firing from across the border. We will disturb them and we'll take a minute from them. सर आपसे 1 मिनट लेंगे. आप लगातार बच्चों को बताते हैं, हम आपके पास आए, आप बता रहे हैं क्या चीज़ें जो हैं आपको रेगुलर बेसिस पे बच्चों को बताई जाती हैं क्योंकि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा का इलाका है.
सर जैसे आपने पहले बोल दिया कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा का इलाका है, तो यहाँ पे अक्सर फायरिंग होती रहती है. यहाँ के लोग जो हैं पहले से ही इससे अवगत हैं कि ये फायरिंग जो है जो हमारे लिए बहुत हार्मफुल है, क्योंकि कई बार हमारे यहाँ पे कैजुअलिटी हो चुकी हैं. जो आपको नया तरीका नहीं है, नया कोई नई चीज़ नहीं है, तो जहाँ पे हम अक्सर बच्चों को ये बताते हैं कि बेटा इनकेस फायरिंग होती है तो आपने अपने आप को सबसे पहले बचाना है. बचाने का एक ही नज़रिया, अगर आप अपने क्लासरूम में हो तो क्लासरूम में अगर आप फायरिंग हो रही है तो आप कंफर्म करना कि विंडो आपकी बंद है, ऑलरेडी बंद है, इट्स ओके. अदरवाइज लेट जाओ, जैसे थोड़ा सा समय मिले विंडो बंद कीजिए, और थोड़ा सा मौका मिले तो हमारे पास सर बंकर है तो उस बंकर में चले जाते हैं.
बंकर में चले जाएं. कुछ बच्चों से बात करते हैं. बेटा आपसे मैं पहले भी पूछा था, आप बताइए क्या क्या आप लोगों को बताया गया.
सर यही बताया गया है कि जैसे ही मतलब कि फायरिंग होती है हमें नीचे लेट जाना चाहिए, अगर मौका मिले तो बंकर में चले जाना चाहिए.
बंकर में जाना चाहिए. आपके स्कूल में भी बंकर है?
यस सर.
जब फायर होगा तो उस तरफ जाना है, आपको बताया. With the tense situation prevailing along the borders of the country, with Pakistan resorting to ceasefire violation and cross-border firing on every single day from the last 1 week, the farmers are the real sufferers. The farmers have now decided that they will expedite the process, and in last 1 week they have harvested their crops. Right now we are in the Aranya sector of the international border in Jammu, where you will see that these farmers, they have got their crop packed and now it will be sent to the respective mandis and the areas so that they can send it before any eventuality. Now the crops are being loaded to the vehicle that will be sent to the government facility. This has been expedited by at least 3 to 4 weeks by the locals, as the situation that prevails here on the international border is concerning for the locals because they do not know what lies next for them. These bags are being loaded and they will be sent to their next destination. The locals, they want to ensure that this process is completed at an earliest because hundreds and thousands of such bags are lying at the houses of the...
And we we cut across to more breaking news coming in. Immigration sources say that Pakistan has refused to accept its own citizens. These are citizens who were deported by India. We're now learning that Pakistan has refused to accept their own people at the Atari border. Indian Immigration Services confirming that Pakistan has closed all counters and they're refusing to take back their own people at the Atari border since 800 hours today. Pakistan refusing to take back its own people who had been illegally staying in India. And after India has taken that stringent action of deporting all these illegal Pakistanis back to their own country has shut doors to them. They're refusing to accept their own citizens who had been illegally staying in India. Pakistan has shut all the counters. And we'll try and get further details from Gursimran. I believe he's already with us. Gursimran, not surprising at all, given the nature of Pakistan itself, that has never been true to its own people. But with regards to what happened at these counters and what the next possible plan could be, given the fact that these are illegal immigrants, they can't come back to India, they have to go back to Pakistan, but Pakistan refuses to accept them.
So Isha, it is but obvious for the Pakistan side because they have always been in denial and refusal, be it their citizens, be it their involvement in a terror attack, or be it the terrorists that they sent across to India. But this time it's really shocking that the Pakistan has refused to take back their own citizens. India has made it amply clear that those not having the valid visa, they have to return back. And today, though the extension has been given, but those returning back, they are also denied by the Pakistani side, which shows that the real face of the Pakistan, they actually don't own the people. Their own people, they have been completely now deserted by the Pakistani side because India has made it amply clear that the diplomatic decisions that the India has taken, especially post-Pahalgam terror attack, they are to be implemented and they are being implemented with true spirit on ground. But now with the Pakistan denying their own citizens entry to the Pakistan, now the India is looking for the other options that includes that how they will be sent back, because Pakistan will be shown the documents of their nationality that they are the Pakistani nationals. These documents will be shown to them. Post that, India will ensure that these citizens be pushed back or repatriated to Pakistan because they have been living in India. They were on the visa, but now will be sent back.
But fact is, Gursimran, that these are people who are Pakistani passport holders. Even from a point of view of a country refusing to take back their own people, how long can they pull this?
They cannot do it for a longer period of time. Reason being that these people, those who are having a valid Pakistani nationality identity card, they have to be taken back by the parent country. See, it is not a privilege to have the visa of other country, but it is actually the domain of the next country. That is, if India has granted, in this case, India has granted them visa, it's not their privilege to have it. It is the India's decision that if they will grant the visa and at any given time, because when visas are granted, it is clearly written that the country that grants the visa holds the power to cancel it at any given point of time. So that is exactly the case now. But the Pakistan refusing their own citizen is a next level of embarrassment for them, because we have seen Pakistan not accepting their terrorists, not accepting their role in terror attack, but now not accepting their citizens, those who have gone to the other country on a valid visa. That is a new low for the Pakistan and the Pakistani administrators.
And this is a Pakistan that is completely spooked with knowing what they could be in for or what they could face from India. Some of them who in that nervousness are making very loud statements which are absolutely hollow on the inside, but their real action that speaks for itself when they reject their own people.
Yes, Suesha, that's very true, because we have been witnessing that for last 7 days what has been happening on ground. It was the first day, it was the Pakistan that claimed that they had the nuclear bomb with them, but it is on the 5th day then we saw the Pakistan again with a begging ball to the IMF saying that we need $1 million as a aid. So it's a begging ball Pakistan that is running post to pillar to get their financial crunches met, and on the other side is giving dares to the Indian side stating that they have the nuclear power. But the reality remains that the Pakistan is somewhere is in a deep threat from the Indian side, because they feel that India will hit back anytime. That was the sole reason we saw Pakistani minister coming out at the dead of the night to hold a press conference that we have a credible intelligence input that there will be an attack, imminent attack by the Indian side in next 24 to 36 hours. These kind of imminent inputs were missing when the Jafar Express was attacked in Pakistan, because when they know that such incidents can happen from the Indian side, they were unaware what happened inside their hinterland. And also we have seen that the Pakistan they have tried to every possible way to ensure that the India's retaliation does not cost them, because their air force that was also kept on standby. That was given the name of the exercise that they carried out, that was Fizai Badr and other is Lalkare Mumin that they launched and is going on. Reason being, Pakistan wants to keep its fleet of the air force airborne, so that if there is a attack or retaliation by the Indian side, they can save themselves from the same. And yesterday we saw Pakistani military also announce the exercise to take place, which clearly means that the Pakistan is now trying every possible attempt that they can make to keep Indian side away from its territory.
Right, Gursimran, do stay on. Shravan is also joining us from the newsroom. Also, we have Major General KK Sinha and Major General GD Bakshi who will join us shortly. But fact remains that there is a procedure, there is protocol, which of course are words that Pakistan does not understand exist in its dictionary. Fact is that these are illegal immigrants who were staying in India, and they are valid passport holders of Pakistan. Even if Pakistan wants to take action against them, they could punish them. But to not accept them in their own country, what does one make of it?
See, Pakistan cannot deny it. That's a fact. Reason being that they are the Pakistani nationals and the Pakistani passport holders that have come India on a valid visa. Though the India has made it their policy amply clear a day after the attack that took place in the Pahalgam and claimed the life of 26 innocent, that India will be cancelling all the short-term visas. Only the long-term visas will be valid, and those who have applied for the Indian citizenship. Now those others, those who have come, including those who have been here on the medical visa, they have to return back. But now today morning, what Pakistan did at the international border in Atari Baga.
I'm sorry I'm having to interrupt you here, but let's also get a further understanding of the situation from Major General KK Sinha, who's with us on the broadcast. I mean, not surprising at all that Pakistan is not accepting its own citizens. They've never been true to their own people. But in terms of protocol, in terms of procedure, how long can they pull off this act? They shut all the counters, and there are people waiting at those counters with valid passport holders of Pakistan to enter, but they're not being allowed inside.
Good afternoon and Jai Hind. See, this is another law that Pakistan has been doing it now is with the absolutely authorized visa on which they have come to, India. Of course, the number is very huge. The way they are coming out, even the Indians are surprised. We are surprised. In Gujarat, the number of these Pakistanis there, what they were doing at, whether they are the simple Pakistani who has come here for some reason or others, but number is huge. And today is the last day. They have been supposed to be there. Government has extended the time frame. But the surprising is that, it is not happening today also. It happened day before yesterday also, that they are supposed to open that, Tariq crossing at 7 o'clock. They opened it 11. Now today it is closed. So they are not accepting their own citizen. I don't know, this may be the heinous crime, the most heinous crime towards their own citizen. And we have to take a note of it. It has come, because the government has taken a very tough decision on that. And the Indians are surprised the way these Pakistanis have come over here. And, we just can't make out whether they have come as a laborer, they have come for a genuine reason, they have come for the medical treatment, but medical treatment is generally around Delhi. But they are sitting in Gujarat, they are in Punjab, in a huge Jammu and Kashmir. Huge number is coming out from there. I think, because visa has been given, they must be having the detail. But the authority, in the state authorities, they are surprised. They have reached Jharkhand, all the way to Jharkhand. I do not know whether they are the relatives over there, what they are doing it. The reasons are not known. I think it is a great decision by the government to send them back because they are the ears, eyes of the Pakistani terrorists who are coming here.
Oh yes, absolutely. In fact, Major General G.D. Bakshi, this is an exercise that was long due. It should have happened. They were illegally living in India on fake documents. But speaking so much of the nature of Pakistan, that is not accepting its own people back.
Don't forget, they refused to accept the dead bodies of their martyrs back. Aslam Sher and the others, General KK will tell you, in Kargil, they refused to take their bodies back. We had to give them a decent burial, a proper burial with the Maulvi, etc. They refused to take their bodies back. They disowned them. So I am not surprised if they disown their citizens. The simple fact is that Pakistan standard tactic has been that when some Indian, goes to Pakistan, they try and honey trap him and send him back with, we have seen so many cases, contact established over the social media and then, a love affair kind of a thing, honey trapping openly so that those people can then, carry out spying for the ISI, carry out information gathering or other such nefarious tasks. So we should have thrown them out, been quite heartless about it. All this is good for the Bollywood movies, stories, but they are not very safe in practice because such liaisons across borders can lead to trouble, for the host country. So I think we have to be very careful in future and throw these people out. And especially the Bangladeshis and the Rohingyas who have been allowed to settle here, who are also settling in Nepal on our borders to, give us trouble at the right time of their choice. So I think we have to be ruthless now in throwing these people out. We cannot afford to go soft on this exercise because it is detrimental to national security. Highly detrimental to national security.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, this very exercise that has drawn attention to the larger problem of the amount of illegal immigrants who are settled in India and how they should be sent back. But Major General KK Sinha, I want to talk about Pakistan right now because we are learning from our sources that since 8 a.m. in the morning, they're standing at the Atari border. It's been 6 hours. Those people are waiting. Pakistan is not opening its counters. Can they even do this? How long can they do this? And what is the sort of action or, you expect that Pakistan will do even if they open those counters?
See, it is the overall design of the Pakistan deep state and also the Pakistan authority who are there. The Pakistan army is dictating terms that don't do it. If this is as per the design. If the Indian government has taken a decision that these people will go back, whether they are on a visa or any, if they have come without visa, as you say, illegal migrants, then a huge number. And only thing what we have to bring it out, like your channel is doing it, they are showing it to the people. General Bakshi, has been, pointing this figure, towards our own, somehow I'd say the weaknesses. It has happened not only now, it is happening from 2016. Burhan Bani, when was killed before Uri and Pathankot, number were the same. They have never been thrown out. and it by the sinister design. The design we have to, understand from Indian side also. They are finding the place. Bakshi was talking about Rohingya and Bangladesh. The Rohingya and Bangladeshis were sitting next to the Jammu, camps where in Pathankot, air base, next to that. They were all around. I commanded, sub area in northeast, in Guwahati. If you go to that sub area, all around is a hill. All Bangladeshis are sitting over there. The authorities knows, and I think this is the first time where the government have realized, because we are, pushing it, and they have understood now. Overground workers who are supposed to be Indians, now actions are, and this is the actual action which is happening. Jammu and Kashmir, we know there is a list which was prepared in 2016 where 12,000 overground workers is there, but we are able to do it now, hardly 100 of them. We have to, go absolutely with the iron fist to solve this problem. Main problem, 80% problem lies within the country, this side of the border, this side of the, LOC. It lies to us. 20%, we'll sort them out, loud and clear. But if you don't do it, even India goes for full hog and attacks Pakistan. If we don't sort out own house, you will find this will again creep the way it has been done for the last 40 years.
Major General G.D. Bakshi, the enemy has always been unethical. India is fully aware of that. But the niceness that India has shown, now a Pakistan that is completely spooked, Major General K.K. Sinha, I want to come back to you with this point, sir, because their level of nervousness that is getting displayed in literally every action that they're coming up with. They know that it could be drastic and they're scared.
Yes. One thing is the Pakistan as a state, and also in India, we have got, I do not say, it is the left wing, but the people are in large number. Aman ki asa, under table diplomacy, this will go on, and there will be a savior to this. Now the whole India, if they are saying, the majority of Indians feel that they are the biggest threat. If the threat, you want to get it inside your own country with a legal visas. You see, it's okay that a humanitarian ground, these people have come for the treatment. And India is giving treatment, that also is a very subsidized rate. If these people, they have come, they should be actually grateful to the country. But what they give you back, they give you back the terrorism. These people travel all the way and they can find, this is the Pakistan stated claim that their hand can reach anywhere, including our parliament, and they have demonstrated that. When the parliament attack took place, it was, Burhan Wani, Abdul Wani, Abdul Guru, all these factors had the local support. But we wake up now. We have woken up. We are taking these actions. They are not taking. We have to push them back. But of course, on a humanitarian ground, we are not doing it back. But the way the Trump has taken this, if you see then America,
right,
both they had this, but they are deporting them, illegal migrants, like a prisoner. They're handcuffed and chained, then they are sent. India should not do it. These people must have come by the design. They may be innocent, but we have to be forceful and we have to be absolutely tell them Pakistan to take it back.
Very true. And, for some reason, I want to draw your attention to posts that went viral, which have now turned into memes, but put out the emotion of a common man in Pakistan, where they say that whatever action India may take, but they're so unhappy in their own country with the way their government is treating them, from corruption to the lack of food to the lack of an economy that is crumbling. Their own people are not happy. Those who managed to flee from there are being sent back. Pakistan is not taking them back. They don't even take back the dead bodies of their own soldiers. Who are they true to?
You are absolutely correct. I have seen this thing myself. We were on the Kargil War and Kargil Bar. We were sitting on the features from where these people were going, and their dead bodies were lying. The first, 5 dead bodies of NLI, that is Northern Light Infantry, We recovered in our battalion. When we brought it back, we told them to take it back. They have not taken. They refused. They are not our soldier. If they can do that, the own soldier who has come on their behalf to do something in Indian territory, they refused. We have given the decent burial to them. We have given Supurdu Khak. That is what extension of it carrying on. 99 and today we are 2025. Nothing has changed. Whether their own security forces, jihadis, own people who have come on the legal visas, whatever the reason is.
Right.
But this is what you are exposing it, and I think we have to expose because of your channel, whole world sees.
Yes, absolutely.
And that is what the effect is going, making a dent to the Pakistanis.
I want to thank you, sir, for speaking to Republic this afternoon. But for our viewers, we're going to continue to get you details on the same story on the other side. Since 8 a.m. this morning, those who have been deported back are standing at the counters at Atari border, but Pakistan refusing to take back their own citizens.
$13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
हर भारतीय का खून आतंकी हमले की तस्वीरों को देखकर खौल रहा है।
इंडिया विल आइडेंटिफाई, ट्रैक एंड पनिश every terrorist. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth.
Pakistanis have refused to accept their own at the Atari border, closing all the counters. After Navy, Coast Guard has now increased patrolling in the northwestern region. Indian Navy conducts mega surface and subsurface exercise in the Arabian Sea. Exercise to continue till the 2nd of May. Supreme Court refuses to hear Pahalgam attack plea, says don't demoralize our forces. As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, Republic reports from the border frontline. BSF troops in collaboration with Punjab police recovered a substantial cache of arms, ammunition and grenades in Amritsar. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates Waves 2025 to boost India's global media and entertainment reach. And while as tensions escalate between India and Pakistan, Republic is on the ground bringing you latest reports from areas that are very close to the border. In fact, this latest report from Tangdahar in Kupwara, from where POK is clearly visible. Take a look.
पहलगाम में हुई आतंकी घटना के बाद पूरे देश की नजरें इस बात पर लगी हुई कि किस तरीके से पहलगाम की घटना के बाद बदला लिया जाएगा, माकूल जवाब दिया जाएगा। जहां पे एक तरफ दिल्ली में बैठकों का दौर जारी है, तो वही दूसरी ओर मेरी मौजूदगी कुपवाड़ा के उस इलाके में है, उस वैली में है जहां से आपको पीओके साफ साफ दिखाई देगा। इस वक्त मेरी मौजूदगी टंगडार के इलाके में है और यहाँ से कुछ दूर पे टंगडार की वैलीज भी देख पा रहे होंगे आप, लेकिन सामने आपको पीओके दिखाई देगा। बीते कुछ दिनों से जो यहाँ पे चहलकदमी है वो ज्यादा तेज हो गई है। हालांकि इसके आसपास के जो जिले हैं, जो इलाके लगते हैं, जो खेत लगते हैं, वहां पे से जो किसान हैं उनको हटा दिया गया है। लेकिन पीओके को देख रहे होंगे आप, जहां पर दुनिया भर की नजरें लगी हुई हैं। दिल्ली में लगातार बैठकों का दौर चल रहा है। वाटर इंडस्ट्री जो है उसको खत्म करने के साथ कई बड़े फैसले मोदी सरकार की ओर से किए गए हैं, जहां पे अटारी बॉर्डर को बंद किया गया। इसके बाद जो वीजा थे पाकिस्तानी नागरिकों के वो यहाँ पे रद्द किए गए। इसके बाद भी अभी भी बड़े बड़े फैसले किए जा रहे हैं, लेकिन नजरें पीओके को लेकर लगी हुई हैं, क्योंकि बीते दिनों बैठक में पीएम मोदी की ओर से साफ साफ ये छूट दी गई कि जिस तरीके से सेना जो है अपनी ओर से कार्रवाई करे, उन्हें पूरी छूट दी जाती है। अब ऐसे में पीओके को लेकर के क्या स्ट्रैटेजी होगी, क्या रणनीति होगी, ये अपने आप में दिखाता है और सवाल उठते हैं कि आखिर किस तरीके से पीओके को लेकर के सेना की ओर से कार्रवाई की जाएगी। हालांकि यहाँ पर अगर बात की जाए तो तनाव का माहौल है। कुपवाड़ा समेत, बारामूला समेत कई जिले ऐसे हैं जहाँ पे एलओसी लगती है और वहाँ पर जो है सुरक्षा ज़्यादा सख्त कर दी गई है। आमतौर पर जिन लोगों के घर है एलओसी के आसपास, उन्हें परमिशन बहुत मुश्किल से दी जा रही है, क्योंकि वहाँ पर जो है मामला बहुत संवेदनशील है। ऐसे में कब बड़ा बदला लिया जाएगा, किस तरीके से लिया जाएगा, इसको लेकर नजरें पूरे देश की लगी हुई है पीओके पर।
And well, in a significant revelation, security sources have confirmed that the amusement park in Pahalgam, located just 700 meters from the local police station, was one of the initial reconnaissance targets for the terrorists behind the recent attack. In fact, the recce conducted on 15th April was led by Lashkar-e-Taiba commander, but the location was ultimately dropped due to a lack of viable escape routes. In addition to the amusement park, reconnaissance was also carried out in Aru Valley and Betab Valley.
पहलगाम में हुए आतंकी हमले की जांच एनआईए कर रही है। एनआईए लगातार उन ओवरग्राउंड वर्कर से पूछताछ कर रही है जिनसे आतंकियों ने मदद ली, और उन ओवरग्राउंड वर्कर से पूछताछ में कई चौंकाने वाले खुलासे हुए। खुलासा ये भी हुआ कि बहसन घाटी में आतंकी हमला करने से पहले आतंकियों ने पहलगाम की 3 और लोकेशन की रैकी की थी, जिसमें से एक पहलगाम का अम्यूजमेंट पार्क भी है। तस्वीर आप पहलगाम के अम्यूजमेंट पार्क की देख रहे हैं, देखेंगे बेहद ओपन एरिया में ये अम्यूजमेंट पार्क बना हुआ है। ओवरग्राउंड वर्कर से पूछताछ के दौरान एनआईए ऑफिसर्स को ये जानकारी मिली कि 15 अप्रैल को आतंकी जो हैं वो पहलगाम में दाखिल हो जाते हैं, जिसके बाद ये जो अम्यूजमेंट पार्क आप देख रहे हैं, इस अम्यूजमेंट पार्क की रैकी की गई। बाकायदा ये चेक किया गया कि किस समय बच्चे हो या भीड़ इस अम्यूजमेंट पार्क में सबसे ज्यादा होती है, लेकिन इस प्लान को ड्रॉप कर दिया गया। ड्रॉप करने के पीछे सबसे बड़ी वजह ये थी कि ये बेहद ओपन एरिया में बना हुआ अम्यूजमेंट पार्क है। आतंकियों को यहां से बाहर निकलने में, यानी कि आतंकी वारदात को अंजाम देने के बाद यहां से भागने में काफी परेशानी होती, क्योंकि आप सामने देख रहे हैं इस अम्यूजमेंट पार्क के ठीक बाहर ओपन रोड है, मेन रोड है, जो कि नेशनल हाईवे को कनेक्ट करती है। और सबसे बड़ी बात, ये अम्यूजमेंट पार्क पहलगाम पुलिस स्टेशन से महज 500 से 700 मीटर की दूरी पर है। अगर इस जगह पर आतंकी वारदात को अंजाम दिया जाता तो पुलिस की मूवमेंट सबसे तेज होती, आतंकियों को घेरा जा सकता था, उन्हें पकड़ा जा सकता था। यही कारण था कि इस अम्यूजमेंट पार्क की रैकी करने के बाद इस प्लान को ड्रॉप किया गया आतंकियों के जरिए। ये तमाम जानकारी ओवरग्राउंड वर्कर्स के जरिए एनआईए को इन्वेस्टिगेशन के दौरान मिली है। सिर्फ इस अम्यूजमेंट पार्क की रैकी नहीं की गई, बल्कि आरू घाटी जो कि पहलगाम में है वहां की रैकी की गई, और इसके अलावा बहताब घाटी जो कि पहलगाम में है। ये 3 ऐसी लोकेशन थी जहां पर आतंकियों ने रैकी की, लेकिन इन तीनों जगहों पर आतंकी वारदात को अंजाम नहीं दे पाए क्योंकि भागने का रास्ता नहीं था, ओपन एरिया में है, पुलिस स्टेशन या सीआरपीएफ की चौकी बेहद नजदीक थी, एस्केप रूट नहीं था, और ये तीनों लोकेशंस मेन सड़क से बेहद नजदीक है।
And well, in the tension that is gripping India and Pakistan, news that has come in of how 5,000 Pakistani soldiers who've deserted their own army amid the expectation of what could happen between Pakistan and India. Now, this is a worrying sign, certainly for Pakistan, and they are trying to contain the situation. Major General G.D. Bakshi, who's decoded this panic that is only growing within the Pakistani army and India's kinetic action that is scaring Pakistan. Take a look.
Limited war with Pakistan. Pakistan is in complete panic. 5,000 Pakistani officers and soldiers have put in their resignations. They just don't want to fight. The corps commanders are terribly upset with General Asim Munir that he did not take them into confidence. The Pakistan Army and Air Chiefs are alarmed. General Asim Munir, or more appropriately, Mullah Asim Munir, has realized with a shock that he has bitten off much more than he can chew. General Asim Munir is due to retire in October this year. We are already into the month of May, and he has started his campaign to ensure that he gets a 5 years extension. And how does he do that? By provoking a war with India. He could not give a damn. He could not give a tuppence for the thousands of lives that will be lost on both sides. Asim Munir wants his extensions. He loves the fishes and loaves of office. And, you know, any Pakistani general who becomes the army chief begins to think that he is God's gift to mankind. And each and every one of them try very hard for an extension because the pleasures of the army chief's bungalow are too tempting to, let go. Whether it was General Ziaul Haq, whether it was General Pervez Musharraf, who ruled for a decade each and denied a number of their junior corps commanders their promotions, their elevations. It is a familiar story in Pakistan. A very familiar story in Pakistan. General Asim Munir started his, ensuring of the extension campaign by speech on the clash of the Hindu and Muslim civilizations. He waxed eloquent on how the Hindus and the Muslims are two separate people. They just can't live together. The twain shall never meet. And he tom-tommed the creation of Riyasat-e-Madina 2.0 in Pakistan. Here was Mullah Munir setting the agenda for eternal, endless jihad to take back the world into the 7th century AD, into a time warp in the 7th century AD. With endless jihad, endless beheadings, endless violence, endless blood flowing, and he created for good measure a coup in Bangladesh so that eastern flank could be reintegrated into the jihad circuit. He gave his Samuel Huntington style speech, and within a week his terrorist minions staged a communal massacre of Hindu tourists in Pahalgam. They asked people their religion and shot husbands in the presence of their wives, shot fathers in the presence of their children. The initial plan, we learn, plan A, was to kill 150 Hindus. But somewhere down the line, somebody's heart quailed and they decided to reduce the target down to 35. In actual practice, these terrorists hoodlums, murderers, killed 26 Indians in cold blood and wounded another 17.
And well, 10 days after the brutal Pahalgam massacre, Republic has reached the Baisaran meadows to assess what the current situation is like on the ground. Top investigation officials were conducting a final review of the site as the report is all set to be submitted.
NIA ऑफिसर्स का मानना है कि आरू वैली, बेताब वैली और वैशरण वैली ये तीनों स्पॉट है जिसमें रेकी किया गया था और वैशरण वैली वो स्पॉट है जहां पर सिक्योरिटी कम था और ये जगह बहुत ही जो है यहाँ का टेरेन बहुत टफ है, इसीलिए इस जगह को चूज किया था, इस जगह को चुन लिया था पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट ने। अभी जब मैं खड़े हूँ जहां पर वो वैशरण वैली जाने का रास्ता है, वैशरण जाने के से आखिरी रास्ता जहां तक गाड़ी जाता है, ये जो आरू वैली है, ये जो बेताब वैली है, इसमें पूरा वैली तक ही रास्ता जाता है, मगर सिर्फ और सिर्फ वैशरण वैली ऐसा वैली है जहां पर गाड़ी नहीं जाता, गाड़ी अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं है। आपको दिखा दूं कि ये जगह कैसा, आपके पीछे देख सकते हैं, ये भी वैली का पार्ट ही है। हम लोग वैशरण वैली के तरफ पहुंच चुके हैं और आपको ये भी दिखा दूं कि लास्ट पॉइंट यहाँ का क्या है। अभी देख सकते हैं कि हम लोग रास्ते में आ गए हैं, रास्ते में आके देखा सकते हो कि अभी सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस है, सीआरपीएफ जवान यहाँ पर डिप्लॉयड किया गया है और आर्म्ड फोर्सेस यहाँ पर डिप्लॉयड किया गया है। बहुत सारे वक्त ऐसा है कि यहाँ से वज्रा वैन जो आर्मी व्हीकल्स है वो गुजर रहे हैं। यहाँ तक लास्ट पॉइंट है वैशरण में, ठीक यहाँ से जाने के 15 से 20 मिनट लगता है गाड़ी में। गाड़ी जाने के बाद गाड़ी रुक जाता है, गाड़ी पूरा नहीं जाता। उसके बाद आपको 4 से 5 किलोमीटर या तो ट्रैक करके या तो घोड़सवारी लेके जाना पड़ेगा वैशरण वैली। और ये जो पाकिस्तान टेररिस्ट आए थे वो लोग ये बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं कि ये रास्ता ऐसा है जहां से सिक्योरिटी फोर्स को आने में वक्त लग जाएगा। अगर ट्रैक करके कोई जाता है तो 1 घंटा, कोई घोड़े से जाता है तो 40 मिनट लग जाता है। इसीलिए ये टाइम बहुत अच्छा था जिसमें ये मैसाकर करने के बाद बहुत अच्छे से वो लोग वहां से छुप के निकल सकते थे और छोड़ सकते थे वैशरण वैली। ये वो रास्ता है जहां तक हम लोगों को लास्ट पॉइंट है। इसके बाद कोई भी टूरिस्ट, कोई भी सिविलियंस को अलाउ नहीं कर रहे हैं। आज NIA चीफ गया है और ये आप रास्ता देख सकते हैं, अभी भी आर्मी पर्सनल्स डिप्लॉय है, पुलिस के, कश्मीर पुलिस के तरफ से डिप्लॉयमेंट है। पूरा जो रास्ता, बहुत बार ऐसा भी होता है जो आर्मी व्हीकल्स भी यहाँ से गुजर रहा है। पूरा जो इलाका है वो सिक्योरिटी के ऊपर पूरा टाइटन हुआ है। वैशरण वैली जो कि यहाँ से लगभग 8 से 9 किलोमीटर तक है, वो वैली में भी NIA ऑफिसर्स पहुंच चुके हैं। आज पूरा देखेंगे, वो NIA चीफ खुद देखेंगे ग्राउंड लेवल का पोजीशन क्या था, कहां से भाग सकते थे, कहां से फायरिंग हुआ था, रेकी कहां किया गया था, ये सब एकदम ग्राउंड से NIA चीफ देखेंगे। मगर ये क्वेश्चन अभी भी उठता है कि ये पाकिस्तान टेररिस्ट को पता कैसे चला कि कहां से इस रूट में आना चाहिए, कहां से भाग जाना, कहां से छुप के भाग जाना बहुत इजी रहेगा। इससे बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन अभी रेज होता है। कैमरा पर्सन वसीम अहमद के साथ पिंकी अधिकारी, रिपब्लिक के लिए कश्मीर।
And well, many bunkers have been built near the Longewala border adjacent to India. Some bunkers are old and have been maintained. Some have been made of cement now. It is also being said that in the next 24 hours, army soldiers will start being deployed in those bunkers. This report that has been filed by my colleague Webber.
ये सरहदी इलाका और यहां से पाकिस्तान की सीमा बस महज तकरीबन 4 से 5 किलोमीटर ही है। तो ये लोहे का बंकर यहां पर दोबारा से फिर से मेंटेन किया गया है ताकि अगर हमारी इस सीमा में दुश्मन देश पाकिस्तान घुसने की हिमाकत करता है तो इस बंकर के जरिए हमारे सेना के जवान पाकिस्तानी आर्मी को माकूल जवाब दे सके। इस रेत में चलना बहुत मुश्किल है क्योंकि रेत बहुत गर्म है और टेम्परेचर भी यहां पर तकरीबन 55 डिग्री सेल्सियस के आसपास है, लेकिन इस तापमान में भी लगातार हमारी सेना के जवान इस पूरे इलाके में गश्त कर रहे हैं और इन बंकरों पर लगातार जो है वो निगरानी रखी जा रही है। बीएसएफ के आईजी भी आज इस जैसलमेर के सरहदी इलाके में पहुंचे थे और उस इलाके में पहुंचकर उन्होंने आज सीमा पर पूरी तरह से लगातार जो है वो पेट्रोलिंग और मॉनिटरिंग की, साथ ही वहां पर मौजूद सेना के जवानों से भी उन्होंने मुलाकात की। बीएसएफ के आईजी जब बीकानेर पहुंचते हैं वहां पर डीजी के साथ बैठक होती है और आगे सीमा सुरक्षा को लेकर रणनीति क्या होगी इसको लेकर विस्तृत चर्चा की गई। एक और बंकर हम आपको दिखाएं, दरअसल वो लोहे का बंकर था और ये सीमेंटेड बंकर जो है वो तैयार किया गया है। सीमेंट कंक्रीट की ये मोटी चादर है इस बंकर में जिसके इस्तेमाल से इस बंकर को तैयार किया गया है। और अगर इस बंकर के रास्ते की बात करें तो एक ये प्रवेश द्वार है इस बंकर के अंदर सेना के जाने का। इस प्रवेश के द्वार के जरिए सेना के लोग जो हैं, हमारे जवान जो हैं, वो इस बंकर में प्रवेश करेंगे और ये इस बंकर की पोजीशन वाली जगह है। यहां से सेना के जवान जो हैं वो इस बंकर के अंदर पहुंचकर पोजीशन ले सकते हैं। 2 खिड़कियां हैं इस बंकर में, पहली ये, दूसरी ये, और इसमें आप देख सकते हैं शटर भी लगा हुआ है, यानी कि अगर यहां पर लगातार सेना के इस बंकर पर गोलीबारी होती है तो खिड़की का ये शटर जो है वो बंद कर सकते हैं। कुल मिलाकर इस मोटे बंकर को बनाए जाने का मकसद यही है कि इस बंकर के जरिए हमारे सुरक्षा बल जो हैं वो इस मोर्चे पर डटे रह सके और तकरीबन 9 से 10 इंच मोटाई की इस बंकर की दीवार है जिस पर गोलियां पूरी तरह से बेअसर हैं। कुल मिलाकर हमारे देश की सेना की अब कोशिश यही है कि अगर पाकिस्तान की तरफ से इस जैसलमेर बॉर्डर पर किसी भी तरह की हिमाकत की जाती है तो उस हिमाकत का माकूल जवाब दिया जा सके।
Republic has accessed the exclusive copy of FIR of the Pahalgam terror attack. More on the story. Keep watching Republic TV.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in impeace. Pakistan is responsible for my exodus from my home. It is responsible for killing my people. It's responsible for burning my schools, my home, raping my women folk, involving locals to see to it that I'm out of my house. And nearly 4.5 lakh people from my community, the entire community, left their homes and they were in the refugee camp.
Thank you for staying with Republic. We now cut across to breaking news. Coming in, Republic has been able to access details of the FIR that has been filed in the Pahalgam terror attack case. In fact, we've learned that the FIR mentions, and I quote, based on the instruction from masters sitting across the LOC and under a well-thought conspiracy. Cutting across to my colleague Zeenat, who will take us through the objective parts of this FIR and the role of Pakistan that has been mentioned. Zeenat.
See, Suisha, this is an FIR number 25 of 2025 that has been registered in the police station Pahalgam under the jurisdiction where this attack had taken place. I'll ask my VJ Mubashir to show you the copy of the FIR. This is the copy of FIR that the Republic has accessed exclusively. This is the FIR copy where it has been clearly mentioned that getting the instructions from the master sting across the line of control and under well thought conspiracy. The FIR was filed based on the findings of the ongoing investigation. The FIR registered number under UAPA section 16, 18 and 20, Indian Arms Act section of 7/27, BNS section of 61, 103 and 109. In this entire incident, some 26 people lost their life and around 17 people got injured. See, we are reporting from the Pahalgam, and this is one of the very important spots because we are seeing since morning that the NIA, NIA's chief, DG NIA, is sitting here in Pahalgam to take the first-hand accounts from of the investigation that has been carried so far.
Details on that FIR.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते
सर फैंस हैं शोर तो करेंगे ही ना
नए वाले नहीं करते and they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
सिली में आए तो और
Cricket fans.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप
हर भारतीय का खून आतंकी हमले की तस्वीरों को देखकर खौल रहा है।
India will identify, track and punish every terrorist. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth.
MDH की देगी मीरज
देगी मिर्च का तड़का अंग अंग फड़का
MDH की देगी मीरज
I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in peace. Pakistan is responsible for my exodus from my home. It is responsible for killing my people. It's responsible for burning my schools, my home, raping my women folk, involving locals to see to it that I'm out of my house. And nearly 4.5 lakh people from my community, the entire community, left their homes and they were in the refugee camps in Jammu and other places of this country. And today also they are in the refugee camps in Jakti, near Udhampur. It's a country which should be declared as terrorist nation by India, if not United Nations, because I have no hopes on the powers apart from my country. Pakistan has been constantly troubling us. Blasts, attacks, massacres. It has constantly seen to it that our country, which is going on the rise, again comes down. It creates panic in our country. It creates fear in our country. It creates divide in our country. So what are we waiting for? Let me remind you, I think we have a very short memory. I don't know till how long we will remember Pahalgam. They did this to us in 1990. 1995, 6 foreign tourists were kidnapped and one was beheaded by them. 2000, 32 Amarnath Yatris were killed. They were Hindus. They are killing us because we are Hindus. That's what they did in Pahalgam. They asked our name, they asked our religion, and they shot us. And I have no qualms of saying that we are killed, we have suffered the worst genocide. It's only because on religious basis. We are killed, we are out of our... I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in impeace. Pakistan is responsible for my exodus from my home. It is responsible for killing my people. It's responsible for burning my schools, my home, raping my women folk, involving locals to see to it that I'm out of my house. And nearly 4.5 lakh people from my community, the entire community, left their homes and they were in the refugee camps in Jammu and other places of this country. And today also they are in the refugee camps in Jakti, near Udhampur.
Summer is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and good afternoon. You're watching Republic TV. This special broadcast, we get you all the top stories, but First, we'll begin with the headlines. Pakistanis have refused to accept their own at the Atari border, closes all counters. After Navy Coast Guard has now increased patrolling in the northwestern region. Indian Navy conducts mega surface and subsurface exercise in Arabian Sea. Exercise to continue till 2nd May. Supreme Court refuses to hear Pahalgam attack plea, says don't demoralize the forces. As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, Republic reports from the border front line. And BSF troops in collaboration with Punjab Police recovered a substantial cache of arms, ammunition and grenades in Amritsar. And PM Modi inaugurates Waves 2025 to boost India's global media and entertainment reach. And in a state of complete confusion, Pakistan has appointed their ISI chief as the new NSA. Lieutenant General Mohammad Asim Malik will be holding dual position. ISI has officially taken over. Pakistan can keep the brave face on, but in reality, it's a partial coup in Pakistan. And you should not be surprised if it becomes a complete coup in Pakistan, with the ISI head taking over as the chief advisor for the Prime Minister, for the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Now, what does this mean? Does it mean that all the important decisions will be taken by the ISI? They will be taken by the Pakistani army, and Shehbaz Sharif will only be reduced to a stooge, because now the ISI chief being appointed as the chief advisor to the Prime Minister, a post that was vacant since 2022, has been filled overnight by the ISI chief. I have my colleague Niranjan joining me from the newsroom. Niranjan, would you call it a partial coup? I would say that now the decisions would be taken by the ISI and by the army, and not by the Shehbaz Sharif government.
You look at the kind of noises that are being made in Pakistan as we speak. So, Charita, a couple of points, and these are facts. First of all, Shehbaz Sharif is nowhere to be seen. And to tell you a little bit about Lieutenant General Mohammad Asim Malik, he has been the ISI chief since September 2024. The fact that an ISI man, an ISI chief, is being made the National Security Advisor of Pakistan is very critical. One, it tells you that the Pakistan army is completely in charge and the Pakistan ISI has taken control. Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir, seen as the architect of the Pahalgam attacks. And then you have the Pakistan NSA today, who has been appointed as in that role. He was an ISI chief. So Pakistan Army effectively calling the shots behind the attack, and Pakistan ISI deciding how the country called Pakistan moves directionally in terms of security establishment. So it is a Pakistan Army plus Pakistan ISI combination that is running Pakistan now. Shehbaz Sharif is nowhere to be seen. You look at the imagery in India, you have the Prime Minister leading from the front. He has held at least 7 to 8 meetings since the Pahalgam terror attacks. Since even yesterday, there were 3 meetings at least where the Prime Minister was present. He conducted the CCS, the CCPA, different meetings that have been held. But in Pakistan, nowhere are you seeing Shehbaz Sharif. He's been completely sidelined. The fact that an ISI man has now been made the National Security Advisor shows the kind of trust that Lieutenant General Asim Malik, who has now been chosen as the NSA, has had with Asim Munir. So the Army Chief and the ISI Chief, who's effectively the NSA also right now, it's a combination of ISI plus Pakistan Army plus the NSA that will decide how the response will be to India. And this is, of course, the mask is off. For many years now here at Republic TV, and Arnab himself has been saying that this so-called country, that is called Pakistan, has been ruled by the ISI, where the ISI has called the shots for the longest time. And today's decision that has been taken at the height of the tension, him being announced as the NSA boss.
Right, Niranjan, and as we speak, the army begins the process of takeover in Pakistan. As you're saying, the army begins the process of takeover in Pakistan. The ISI chief being appointed as the chief advisor to the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. They know that at this time, they would not want a democratically elected government, and this has actually been the history of Pakistan. This isn't anything new, Niranjan. We know that Pakistan has had a history of military coup. We know that they, at a time like this, they completely want to hold the reins, the army and the ISI, and this is what they're doing even at this time. Shehbaz Sharif may want to go and speak to the UN Director General, but the decisions will be taken by the army and the ISI.
That's correct. And there is a breaking news input that we had. The official notification that came in to tell you a little bit about this particular NSA, the National Security Advisor of Pakistan, who has been the ISI chief for the last at least 5 to 6 months. To give you more details, in fact, Pakistan has shared also his details. Asim Malik is a 3-star general. He's a 3-star general, born into a Punjabi family. His family had roots in Shahpur. His father was also a lieutenant general in the Pakistan Army, has served in the Pakistan Army. He joined the Pakistan Military Academy, and he was commissioned in the 12th Baloch Regiment of the Pakistan Army in 1989. So this is a little bit about him. To give you the news is that he has been appointed as the NSA, and he has the complete faith of the Pakistan Army chief, and that is why he has been appointed. That is the limited breaking news input that we had on the story. I'm handing it back to you for now.
Right, Niranjan. So as Niranjan is giving us information on this big step that has been taken by Pakistan, and obviously Pakistan being rattled, and they know that there will be decisions that will be taken by the army, and the democratically elected government really will not be taking any decisions at this time. This has really been the history with Pakistan. It's not something new to the Pakistanis. The Janta also there knows that at a time like this, when they are rattled by the might of India, there will be decisions taken by the ISI and by the Pakistani army. So the face of the decisions is going to be Shehbaz Sharif there, the Pakistani Prime Minister, but whatever unfolds will be done by the Pakistani army and the ISI, because the Pakistani ISI chief also retains that position as he takes over as the NSA of the country. And first on Republic, US State Department has cleared a $131 million maritime tech sale. India had requested to buy Sea Vision software, technical assistance, field team training, remote software and analytics support. It's a big boost to the Indian Navy. US Defense Security Cooperation has notified the US Congress about the sale deal. This deal boosts India's maritime domain awareness. So this is the big story that is coming to us right now. US State Department that clears a $131 million deal. It's a maritime tech sale deal, and this boosts the Indian Navy's capacities. And my colleague Shavan joins us from the newsroom. Shavan, this deal definitely boosts the capabilities, the prowess of the Indian Navy.
Well, in fact, an official confirmation has now come in from the US State Department that they have already notified the US Congress with regards to the military deal that has actually taken place. In fact, India had basically put the request for this maritime domain awareness technology. Now, as far as the details of the technology that the United States of America is likely to provide to the Indian Navy includes the following. One, it is the Sea Vision software, the technical assistant field, that's the TACT training system, the remote software and analytical support. These a total of $131 million. In fact, as far as the Indian Navy is concerned, an official confirmation has also been received by them with regards to the request that was made, and it has now been approved by the US Defense Security Cooperation Agency. In fact, the State Department thereafter has also notified the US Congress stating that this would basically boost India's maritime prowess. Not just that, it also bolsters the relationship between United States of America and Indian Navy. Now, in the backdrop of what we are essentially witnessing right now, this essentially helps the Indian Navy to procure this as soon as possible. As far as the timeline of the procurement is concerned, that clarity hasn't come in from the Indian Navy at this point in time. Perhaps that's going to take a little bit more time, but the clearance has already come in from the State Department. In fact, we are being told that late last evening is when the US Congress was also informed about this military deal that has now taken place.
Right, Shravan, and the Rafale deal and now this deal with the US, which definitely increases the might of the Indian Navy. It is also a kind of messaging to Pakistan in a way which is already rattled by India's might.
Well, in less than a fortnight, you're looking at two major deals that have been signed by the Indian Navy. One with regards to the Rafale Marinas, which is worth about 63,000 crore rupees, number one. Number two is with regards to this very deal that has taken place. It's again $131 million. We're looking at in both the cases, you're not only improving, bolstering Indian Navy's position in this particular case, but also the capabilities of reconnaissance also sees a manifold growth in it.
Right, Shravan. Thank you so much for all that information. So the US State Department clears that big deal with the Indian Navy, and that definitely is a messaging, as I said, to Pakistan as well. Now, the Indian Navy is conducting live firing drills in the Arabian Sea off the Porbandar coast in Gujarat. These exercises involve a full spectrum of naval capabilities, including surface-to-surface missile launches. Our executive editor, Niranjan, explains.
There is an intense India-Pakistan face-off in the Arabian Sea. And this is as naval posturing heats up of both India and Pakistan, and the tensions between both nations have found a new flashpoint, and that is in the Arabian Sea. The Indian Navy is currently, as we speak, conducting live firing drills in the Arabian Sea off the coast of Porbandar. And this is off the coast of Gujarat. And these exercises, the naval exercises, involve a full spectrum of naval capabilities, including surface-to-surface missile launches, gunnery practice, underscoring India's intent to maintain a robust maritime posture in the region. Now, these drills are being carried out as part of a planned naval readiness operation and are aimed at enhancing combat preparedness, joint operational coordination in the Arabian Sea, and that's the message that our Navy is sending out. What is most interesting is the proximity. Look at the proximity of India's position vis-a-vis Pakistan's own concurrent naval exercises, which are around the same region. And Indian naval units are reported to be holding their drills about 85 nautical miles from the area where Pakistan naval forces are conducting live fire maneuvers of their own. Now, this close distance between the two sets of operations has also heightened alert levels in both India and Pakistan, with both countries using the opportunity to signal maritime dominance, strategic deterrence. But Pakistan Navy is no match for India in either the capabilities or the sheer might, the number of submarines, frigates, anything, resources. Our Navy is far, far superior, and that is why this naval face-off in the Arabian Sea adds a maritime dimension to the long-standing India-Pakistan rivalry, which has traditionally played out across land and air domains. And as India expands its maritime strategy in the Indo-Pacific region, for example, and Pakistan strengthens ties with its allies like China, which is giving it arms now, the Arabian Sea now becomes a fast emerging, a critical theater of military signaling. And for now, the maneuvers remain drills. Drills for now, live firing drills, second time in the last 1 week. but the tension they symbolize is very, very real.
And ladies and gentlemen, even as India is striking the terror homes, leader of Jammu and Kashmir, Farooq Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti, these leaders have raised concerns over the ongoing demolition drive in the valley, targeting the homes of terrorists as security forces ramp up anti-terror operations following the Pahalgam terror attack. They argue that the indiscriminate demolitions are impacting innocent families, including women, children and the elderly.
कई लोगों के मकान उड़ाए गए। अब मुझे बताइए, अगर बेटा मिलिटेंट बन जाता है तो बाप की क्या जिम्मेवारी है उसमें? माँ की या बहनों की क्या जिम्मेवारी है? उड़ा दिया, किस लिए उड़ा दिया? मुझे बताइए, उससे क्या हम लोग मजबूत होंगे? उससे जो हमारी यकजहती है, क्या उस पर धक्का नहीं आ सकता? लोग नहीं सोचेंगे ये क्या हो रहा है? इन्हें हर बात पे 1000 दफ़ा सोचना चाहिए। उस एक्शन से कहीं हमारे में जो एक यकजहती हो गई है उससे नुकसान तो नहीं पहुंचे, मगर वो दफ्तरों में बैठ के ये फैसले करते हैं, ये नहीं देखते हैं कि इसका असर क्या होगा।
मेरी गुजारिश है होम मिनिस्टर साहब से कि हम समझते हैं, हम तकलीफ को समझते हैं, हम इस तकलीफ को महसूस करते हैं, तो पूरे मुल्क में गुस्सा है, मगर जम्मू कश्मीर के लोग जो उन्होंने इस तकलीफ को 30-35 साल से बर्दाश्त किया और हम समझते हैं इस बात को, तो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि जैसे जो मिलिटेंट्स के साथ डील करते हुए ये ज़रूरी है कि ध्यान रखा जाए कि आम लोगों के घर न गिराया जाए। और इसी तरह जो आपने एक एडवाइजरी की है कि जो लोग यहाँ बाहर से आए हुए हैं, पाकिस्तान से आए हुए, तो उसमें कोई ऐसे लोग हैं, ऐसी औरतें हैं जिनकी शादी 30 साल 40 साल पहले हुई है, या मतलब जिनके बच्चे हैं, ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन हैं, उनका घर तो हिंदुस्तान है, वो तो अपने आप को हिंदुस्तानी समझते हैं, वो इस वक्त इस उम्र में कहाँ जाएंगे? तो मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि होम मिनिस्टर साहब इसका सिंपैथेटिक व्यू लेंगे और इस तरह से जो है उन लोगों को अपना घर बार छोड़ने के लिए, क्योंकि आज तक 30 साल से 40 साल से रह रहे हैं और वो कभी भी उन्होंने मुल्क के खिलाफ कोई कार्रवाई नहीं, कोई काम नहीं किया।
So leaders of Jammu and Kashmir, Farooq Abdullah, Mehbooba Mufti, now raising concerns. The action that has been taken, the houses that have been brought down, the houses that have been bulldozed belong to the terrorists who were behind the Pahalgam attack. Now, Mehbooba Mufti and Farooq Abdullah speaking for those families. Now, they want rights for these terrorists and they want rights for these terrorist families. Those houses have been brought down. Those houses that were demolished, Mufti and Farooq Abdullah now are back to the same old tactics. They speak about rights for these terrorists, but what about the rights of those civilians who were killed in that Pahalgam attack? The families, they've been asking for justice, and those voices go completely unheard by these netas in Jammu and Kashmir. I can't take on the grip. India's military superiority over Pakistan is becoming more evident than ever. In this explosive episode, Lieutenant General Raj Shukla offers an unfiltered analysis of how India's modernized and combat-ready armed forces are systematically overpowering Pakistan's weakening military infrastructure.
It's been a week since the gruesome, dastardly, cowardly attack in Pahalgam of the 22nd of April, which was enabled by the dog whistling of General Sadanand Date on the 16th of April. And we've all seen that. In the week since, a lot of stuff has happened. Just yesterday, we saw the Prime Minister chairing a meeting with the Honorable Raksha Mantri, the NSA, the CDS, and the 3 service chiefs. So let us now take a view on what the likely state of play is. Well, one thing is clear, that Pakistan has thrown down the gauntlet at us. It is challenging our secular fabric, our democratic flow, the return of normalcy to Jammu and Kashmir. It has challenged Bharat and its Bharatiyata. It is also clear that the response to this is going to be potent, calibrated, surgical, and powerful. Now, in the bevy of measures that have been taken, from the Indus Water Treaty to cancellation of visas, so on and so forth, to me it does appear that the response will be led, at the forefront of the response will be calibrated military kinetics. Pakistan will feel the brunt of India's military power. Now, this calibrated military kinetics could take various forms across domains: land, sea, air, EW, space, cyber. It will be applied across the escalatory ladder, where there are numerous options. There are as many instruments, from special forces to air power to perhaps a blockade. There will also be a very careful choice of the target array. It could be training camps, it could be launch pads of terror, it could be Pakistan ISI installations and the Pakistan Army itself, because this time the architect-in-chief is nobody else than General Asim Munir. In my view, the Indian Armed Forces are broad, they are deep, and they have a wide array of instruments at their disposal. Just look at the air dimension. We have the S-400, which has a range of 600 kilometers. The Pakistanis, even if they have the latest version of the HQ-9 surface-to-air missile, has a range of just 300 kilometers. The Rafale is a 4.5 generation aircraft with Astra beyond visual range missiles, 100 kilometers. The Scalp, the Meteor. The F-16 is only 4th generation. Look at the naval domain. The number of combatant vessels that we have is close to 300, 294. The Pakistanis barely get past the 100 mark. We have 2 aircraft carriers, he has none. We have number of submarines, those which are nuclear powered. We have the sea leg of the nuclear triad. The Pakistan doesn't have this. Let's not go into the land domain, where our tanks, 4,000 to 2,000. Artillery pieces, 3 times more of the Pakistanis. So not only in terms of the orchestration of the power, the calibrated military kinetics, but also in bean count. We have a huge lead. Let me also say, from another military metric, from the standpoint of another military metric, we retain the ability to control what is known as escalatory dominance in the land, sea, air, conventional, and even the nuclear domain. It's also time to call the schoolboy bluff of the Pakistanis with regarding to their brandishing these nuclear weapons. See, we will not go by the red lines that they tell us that these are the red lines. We know what their red lines are, and we will so orchestrate the battle so as to keep it below the threshold of the nuclear dimension. So I think in sum, the Pakistanis have committed a grievous error in that gruesome, dastardly assault, where they fell so low that they resorted to religious terror, communal terror, religious targeting, where, honeymoons were turned into funerals, where fathers were gunned down to death in front of their sons. This is a big challenge for India and its statecraft. And I have little doubt that this time Pakistan will feel the might and potency of Indian military power being unleashed on them. Thank you.
With tension rising with Pakistan every day, India is keeping its forces ready at the borders. Indian Army shows its prowess. Take a look at this video.
Ferocious at your first sight, you lead by your birthright. You born to lead and born to fight. You are born to win with all your might. You You're a tank man, you're a tank man. Be proud to be a tank man.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते
Sir, fans हैं शोर तो करेंगे ही ना?
नए वाले नहीं करते. And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me आए तो और
Cricket fans.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार. MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला.
हर भारतीय का खून आतंकी हमले की तस्वीरों को देखकर खौल रहा है.
India will identify, track and punish every terrorist. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth.
$13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने.
I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in impeace. Pakistan is responsible for my exodus from my home. It is responsible for killing my people. It's responsible for burning my schools, my home, raping my women folk.
Summer is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ.
So the Indian Navy displays its full might in the Arabian Sea, conducts war exercises, this and more in this bulletin, but we'll begin with the headlines. Partial coup in Pakistan after ISI Chief Lieutenant General Asim Malik made NSA. Shehbaz Sharif sidelined by Pak ISI. Pakistanis have refused to accept their own at the Atari border, closes all counters. After Navy, Coast Guard has now increased patrolling in the northwestern region. Indian Navy conducts mega surface and subsurface exercise in Arabian Sea. Exercise to continue till 2nd May. As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, Republic reports from the border front line. BSF troops in collaboration with Punjab Police recovered a substantial cache of arms, ammunition and grenades in Amritsar. So the big news that's coming in right now, we learned that India is contemplating to suspend shipping lines and postal services to Pakistan. Announcement likely soon. India has already closed airspace to Pakistani aircrafts, and the news that's just coming in that India is likely to suspend the shipping lines to Pakistan. Now we know that the airspace has been closed. We know that the Pakistanis living in India have been identified. They've been asked to leave the country, and now India is likely to suspend shipping lines to Pakistan. Also, all kind of postal communication to be stopped with Pakistan. Okay, so as we speak about India's naval might, we would also like to show you how India's navy stands vis-a-vis Pakistan's navy. Now, the two countries in a state of the present state where there is a strife, and we know that this might of both the countries is going to be at display. When we speak about aircraft carriers, India has two, but Pakistan has none. They're still to get their first aircraft carrier. When we speak about submarines, India's submarines at a total of 18 and Pakistan's submarines at 8. So that is the total of the submarines for both the countries. When we speak about destroyers, India has 13. Pakistan still to acquire its first destroyer. That is the number. Now frigates, India has 14, Pakistan has 9. Now the naval might of both the countries right in front of you as I speak. I'm speaking about the corvettes. India has 18, Pakistan has 9. Now the naval might of both the countries, in a straight comparison, the patrol vessels, India has 135, Pakistan has 69. So that comparison of the patrolling vessels and the total naval personnel, India has 1,42,252 and Pakistan has 1,24,800. So that is the number of naval personnel who are reporting into these countries. Now, when we speak about the naval might of both the countries, this was a direct comparison, but India's naval might is at display in this naval exercise which is right now going on in the Arabian Sea. So those visuals of India's Navy's war exercise that is taking place in the Arabian Sea and that will continue till tomorrow. So that naval exercise in the Arabian Sea, those visuals that we are staying with, and India is displaying its full naval might in the Arabian Sea. And the news that's coming in right now, immigration sources say that Pakistan has refused to accept its own citizens. These are the citizens who were deported by India. We now learn that Pakistanis have refused to accept their own at the Atari border. Now, Indian immigration services confirm Pakistan has closed all counters and refuses to take these people back, their own, through the Atari border. And they've been waiting there, and Pakistan has closed all counters, refusing to take its own. So those visuals that are on your screen remind you of the Kargil war, where they even disowned their own dead. They refused to take back the bodies of Pakistani soldiers. They disowned them. So they disowned the dead and now they disown the living.
छोड़ ही नहीं रहे हमें आगे। अभी भी मैंने इनसे पूछा कि क्या अपडेट है वहाँ पे, वो बोलते हैं हमें भी पता नहीं है, कोई आदेश कोई नहीं आया कि इन्हें छोड़ना है या वापस भेजना है। तो कम से कम हमें इतना बता दे कि अगर वापस जाना है तो हम कहीं ना कहीं तो और जाके स्ट्रिप हो जाए, सोएं, आराम करें, कुछ करें।
मैं सुबह 6 बजे से अपनी बहनों को लेकर यहाँ आया हुआ हूँ और दिल्ली बॉर्डर से मैं दिल्ली से चला हूँ। 6 बजे यहाँ हिंदुस्तान बॉर्डर पर मैं आ चुका हूँ और कहते 10 बजे बॉर्डर खुल जाता है। 6 बजे से और 10 बजे बॉर्डर खुल जाता है और 11 बजे हमने पूछा तो कहते जी बातचीत चल रही है, हम तो यहाँ से भेज रहे हैं, हमारी तो गवर्नमेंट ने बोल दिया, आदेश दे दिए, मगर वहाँ वाले आदेश नहीं दे पा रहा है हमें।
पाकिस्तानी अपने नागरिकों को ही वापस लेने से मना कर रहे हैं। आप तो अपने वतन लौटना चाह रहे हैं, लेकिन आपके वतन वाले ही कह रहे हैं कि हम नहीं लेंगे। अब
तो हम इधर हैं, हमें क्या पता वहाँ का।
तो कब तक इंतजार करेंगे?
करेंगे हम इंतजार।
कितने लोग हैं? आपके ये 2 बच्चे हैं और आप हैं? कहाँ?
4 लोग हैं।
4 लोग। यहाँ कहाँ आई थी आप? दिल्ली?
नहीं।
कहाँ?
छत्तीसगढ़
में। तो क्या विजिटर वीजा था आपके पास?
हाँ।
कितने दिन का वीजा था?
अभी 3-4 दिन ठहरे हैं हम यहाँ।
अच्छा, 45 डेज के लिए आए थे क्या?
हाँ।
और 3-4 दिन में आप वापस जा रही हैं। लेकिन आप समझिए कि आप वापस जाना चाह रही हैं, आपको वापस लेने से इनकार कर रहे हैं आप पाकिस्तान।
नहीं लेंगे, जाहिर है वहाँ भी कुछ मसले
आपको अभी
होंगे।
भी उम्मीद है लेंगे?
हाँ लेंगे।
नहीं, बाकी दिन गेट खोल दिए जाते थे, आज उन्होंने मना कर दिया है। सभी पाकिस्तानियों को सीधे कह रहे हैं कि हम गेट ही नहीं खोलेंगे, पाकिस्तान के लोग हम नहीं लेंगे वापस। ये तो ऐसा है कि आप अपने मुल्क के ही लिए गैर बन गए हैं।
नहीं देखते हैं, अभी इंतजार करते हैं।
चलिए देखते हैं, इंतजार करते हैं। और भी लोग हैं जो इंतजार कर रहे हैं। बैग है, लगेज है, इस धूप में खड़े होकर देखिए लगेज लेकर खड़े हैं, ये लंबी लाइन, और इधर उधर इंतजार कर रहे हैं। और ये अपने आप में पाकिस्तान की जो बेशर्मी है वो सामने आ रही है कि अपने मुल्क के लोग जो 45 दिन पहले आए थे वो 3-4 दिन में तो वापस जाना पड़ रहा है, लेकिन उन्हें अब अपने मुल्क में ही वापस लेने से इनकार कर रहे हैं। पाकिस्तान के लोग अब यहाँ इस धूप में बैठे हुए हैं, इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं कि कब उन्हें वापस भेजा जाएगा। लेकिन आज भी स्थिति ये है कि 9 बजे से, समझिए सुबह 9 बजे से अब 4 बजने को है, और ये तो अब परेड का टाइम है, तो इसके बाद तो यहाँ से भी मुमकिन नहीं है। आप लोग सर कहाँ से आए थे? राजौरी से।
जी।
कहाँ जाना है?
वो 2 हमारे रिलेटिव हैं, उनको पाकिस्तान जाना है।
कितने बजे से यहाँ वेट कर रहे हैं?
हम तो 10:30 से यहाँ वेट कर रहे हैं।
तो बाकी दिन तो हम भी यहाँ पर थे, दोपहर 12 बजे तक सब क्लियर हो जाता था, 10 बजे से जाने देते थे। आज क्यों रोका गया है?
क्या पता, हमें तो नहीं पता है। वो कह रहे हैं,
खबर ये है कि उस तरफ जो है गेट बंद कर दिया गया है। पाकिस्तानी जो रेंजर्स हैं उन्होंने कह दिया कि हम नहीं लेंगे अपने लोगों को, आप पाकिस्तानी को।
अच्छा, हमें नहीं पता है ना, क्योंकि हमें
जो रिलेटिव हैं पाकिस्तान के लोग हैं वो ये सोच कर आए थे कि हम वापस अपने वतन जाएंगे।
तो वो बीमार है, वो चलने के काबिल नहीं है।
पाकिस्तान के लोग ही मना कर रहे हैं अपने ही लोगों को वापस लेने से, ये तो बेशर्मी है।
अब क्या पता, हम तो नहीं जानते इतना।
मतलब ये स्थिति होनी चाहिए क्या कि पाकिस्तान के लोग जाना चाह रहे हैं अपने वतन और कह रहे हैं कि हम नहीं लेंगे?
क्या बताएं।
और भी लोग हैं जो यहाँ पर पाकिस्तान से आए थे और इंतज़ार कर रहे थे कि हम वापस जाएंगे, लेकिन अब जो कि टूरिस्ट भी आने लगे हैं, यानी परेड का समय हो गया है, आज ये यहीं रह सकते हैं, इन्हें वापस नहीं लिया गया। एक तरह से आप इसे मान सकते हैं कि अब कोई भी बातचीत नहीं होगी, इन्हें वापस नहीं लिया जा रहा है। कुछ और भी लोग हैं जो इधर उधर गाड़ी से निकल कर, चूँकि गाड़ी में धूप है तो कुछ इधर बैठे हुए हैं, उनसे भी हम बात करने की कोशिश करते हैं और समझने की कोशिश करते हैं कि आखिर क्या वजह रही कि पाकिस्तान के लोगों को अपने ही वतन वापस नहीं लिया जा रहा है। और ये 1999 की जो तस्वीर हम दिखा रहे थे वो तस्वीर भी बता रही है कि ये तो नागरिक हैं, सैनिकों के शव को, कुछ और भी तस्वीर कुछ और भी लोग हैं, अपने ही नागरिकों को वापस लेने से मना कर दिया गया। 1999 में अपने सैनिकों के शव को वापस लेने से मना कर दिया था। तो ये पाकिस्तान की असलियत है, वो पाकिस्तान जो गिदड़ भभकी देता रहता है और हम अपने मुल्क के लिए करेंगे। हमारी फ़ौज के साथ हमारे तमाम जो मुल्क हैं वो खड़े हैं। एक सेकंड सर, आप कहाँ से आए थे? थोड़ा नीचे कीजिए, थोड़ा नीचे कीजिए ना, थोड़ा नीचे कीजिए, थोड़ा नीचे। आपके अपने ही देश, आपके अपने ही वतन वापस नहीं लिया जा रहा है, आपके अपने ही लोग वापस नहीं ले रहे हैं आपको, क्या कहेंगे? कुछ नहीं बोलना है, यहीं इंतजार करते रहेंगे क्या? यही इंतजार करते रहेंगे? 2 मिनट आवाज नहीं आ रही, आप इसे नीचे कर लीजिए, आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
हम नहीं हैं, हम इधर के हैं।
हाँ तो आपके रिलेटिव होंगे?
नहीं वो पीछे हैं।
तो उनको वापस नहीं लिया जा रहा है?
अब हम क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या कर सकते?
बात नहीं। आप कहाँ से आए हैं? आप कहाँ से आए हैं?
हम राजौरी से आए।
कहाँ जाना है आपको?
जाना था इनको डिपोर्ट किया ना, उसके लिए जाना था इनको।
ये कौन है आपके?
ये मेरी कज़न है।
तो इनको डिपोर्ट किया गया है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान इन्हें वापस नहीं ले रहा है।
हमें ये पता नहीं है, बॉर्डर तक हम पहुँचे नहीं।
आप
10:30 बजे आए थे सुबह।
10:30 बजे से वहाँ वेट कर रहे हैं?
जी जी।
पाकिस्तान में कहाँ से आई थी आप?
ये नहीं बोल सकते।
एक सेकंड नीचे थोड़ा नीचे कीजिए।
फैसलाबाद से।
फैसलाबाद से
जी।
आपको पता है कि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से गेट बंद कर दिया गया है?
अच्छा, नहीं पता जी।
वो लोग वापस नहीं ले रहे हैं, इसलिए यहाँ से आप अंदर नहीं जा पा रही हैं।
जी जी।
आप ये सोचकर आई थी कि आप अपने वतन चले जाएंगे, लेकिन आपके
नहीं वतन जाने के लिए नहीं आई थी।
जाने के लिए
हमारा वतन यही है।
यहाँ के रहने वाले थे तो
नहीं, पाकिस्तान का पासपोर्ट रहा होगा।
पासपोर्ट पाकिस्तान का। ये जम्मू कश्मीर के बाशिंदे हैं। उधर
कितने साल से रह रहे हैं?
फैसलाबाद में ये इनके फादर प्राइवेट सर्विस करते थे। ये मीरपुर में रहते थे।
पासपोर्ट कहाँ का है?
पाकिस्तान का।
तो पाकिस्तान का पासपोर्ट तो पाकिस्तान के हुए ना?
वो फिर उस वक्त है तो ये जम्मू कश्मीर के, इनकी प्रॉपर्टी यहाँ पर है।
पाकिस्तान का पासपोर्ट है, इसलिए नहीं डिपोर्ट किया गया।
जी इसीलिए।
लेकिन जिस पाकिस्तान का पासपोर्ट ये लेकर रखे हुए हैं, आज वो पाकिस्तान कह रहा है कि हम वापस नहीं लेंगे।
हमें इसका इल्म नहीं, आपसे सुन रहे हैं। हम तो यहाँ पर हैं, हमारे पास तो कोई ऐसी बात नहीं।
इसलिए वेट कर रहे हैं सुबह 10:30 बजे।
यहाँ ये बंद है, इन्होंने कहा बॉर्डर खुला नहीं है।
हाँ तो बॉर्डर उस तरफ से नहीं खुला है। अब आप क्या करेंगे? पाकिस्तान ने काउंटर बंद कर दिया है उधर। उन्होंने कह दिया कि हम वापस नहीं लेंगे।
इनको 42 ईयर्स आए हुए यहाँ, 83 में आए थे यहाँ। अब
यहाँ की मैं कह रहा हूँ कि यहाँ की नागरिकता इन्होंने ली नहीं, अब वापस इन्हें भेजा जा रहा है, लेकिन वापस वहाँ भी नहीं लिया जा रहा है। तो ये पाकिस्तान की, आप समझ रही है, बेशर्मी है ना? पाकिस्तान की तो बेशर्मी है कि आपको अपने ही लोग नहीं पहचान पा रहे हैं। यहाँ तो चलिए आप रह रही थी 42 साल से, लेकिन जिस देश का, जिस वतन का पासपोर्ट आप लेकर रखी हुई थी, वो वतन आपको पहचानने से इनकार कर रहा है, लेने से इनकार कर रहा है। क्या कहेंगी आप?
बदकिस्मती और क्या?
पाकिस्तान की बदकिस्मती है या आपकी बदकिस्मती है? ये पाकिस्तान वालों की 1999 में करगिल वार हुआ, वहां तब सैनिकों के शव को लेने से इनकार कर दिया था उन लोगों ने। आज आप जैसे नागरिक, वहां पर मैंने देखा कुछ बच्चे हैं, महिलाएं हैं, उनको अब लेने से इनकार कर दिया है।
तो
ये पाकिस्तान वालों को क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
क्या कहेंगे हम? क्या
यहाँ से आप कहिए, वो सुन रहे होंगे, पाकिस्तानियों को कहिए यहाँ से
वापस भेज दो, अपने घर जाए, हम आराम से यहाँ रह रहे हैं। और क्या है?
नहीं, ये तो वापस आपको नहीं ले रहे हैं, उनको भी तो कुछ कहिए। पाकिस्तानियों को क्या कहना चाहेंगे बताइए?
हम तो ये कहते हैं वो टेरर बंद करे, बस चुप करके कंफर्ट हमें आराम से रहने दे बस। और क्या?
ठीक है। कुछ और भी लोग हैं जो गाड़ियों में बैठे हुए थे, लेकिन अब इधर उधर चले गए हैं, क्योंकि धूप है। हम उन लोगों से भी बात करने की कोशिश करते हैं। और समझिए कि ये बहुत बड़ी बेशर्मी, वो पाकिस्तान जो कहता है कि हम फौज के साथ खड़े हैं, जो उनके मंत्री कहते हैं हम खून बहाएंगे। क्या खून बहाएंगे? आप सिंधु नदी को लेकर खून बहाने की बात करते हैं। आपके अपने नागरिक यहाँ धूप में खड़े हैं, भारत में जो रह रहे थे, और उन्हें वापस भेजा जा रहा है। बीएसएफ के जवान यहाँ तैनात हैं, इस बात का इंतजार करते रहे कि उधर से गेट खोला जाएगा तो हम इन्हें वापस भेजेंगे, लेकिन अब इन्हें वापस नहीं भेजा जा रहा है। वापस लेने से इनकार कर दिया गया, बल्कि वहाँ गेट ही नहीं खोला गया। तो ये समझिए, मैंने अभी आपसे बात की थी, अब सर से एक बार आपसे समझना चाहता हूँ, क्या करेंगे अब? वहाँ तो गेट नहीं खोला गया।
देखते हैं भाई, हम अपील ही कर सकते हैं और क्या कर सकते हैं।
आपका नाम क्या है?
हर्ष कुमार।
पाकिस्तान की सरकार को क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
हम अपील ही करेंगे, छोड़ें, हमें ले लें, हम वहाँ पे आके अपनी पूरी फैमिली से मिलके।
पाकिस्तान में कहाँ से आए थे?
कराची से।
तो समझिए कराची में आप रहते थे, यहाँ कुछ दिन के लिए आए थे आप रिलेटिव से मिलने के लिए।
जी।
लेकिन आप वापस कैसे जाएंगे? वापस तो उन्होंने कह दिया कि हम नहीं लेंगे। आपको पहचानने से इनकार कर रहे हैं। आप पाकिस्तान के हैं और पाकिस्तान के ही हुक्मरान सरकार, वहाँ की सेना आपको पहचानने से इनकार कर रहे हैं।
हम अपील ही कर सकते हैं और क्या करें, हम अपील करते हैं, हमें ले लें भाई।
ये तो आप समझिए कि पाकिस्तानियों की बड़ी बेशर्मी है, वहाँ के रेंजर्स की, वहाँ की सेना की। आप अपने नागरिक हैं और उनको वापस नहीं ले रहा है। आप धूप में खड़े हैं अपने बच्चों के साथ।
अपील ही कर रहे हैं और क्या करें भाई।
किसे अपील करेंगे? सरकार से, जनरल सिम मुनीर से, शहबाज शरीफ से?
सरकार से हम अपील कर रहे हैं कि हमें ले लें।
सर वहां से आतंकी तो भेजते हैं लेकिन अपने नागरिकों को वापस लेने से इनकार करते हैं।
अपील ही कर सकते हैं भाई। और हम क्या
पहलगाम में अटैक जो हुआ तो वहीं से आए थे?
पता नहीं, वो हमें कुछ पता नहीं है।
वहीं से आए थे, ये बात कई बार स्पष्ट हो चुकी है।
ये हमें कुछ पता नहीं है, हम कुछ नहीं कह सकते।
अपील कर रहे हैं, आपकी अपील का असर नहीं हो रहा है सर। सुबह से आप अपील कर रहे हैं, हम क्या इतने वो बेदर्द हैं, इतने वो उनमें कुछ भी शर्म नहीं बची है कि अपने नागरिकों को वापस ले सकें? पाकिस्तान की सरकार में जरा सी भी शर्म नहीं बची है कि आपके अपने नागरिक हैं उनके, आप तो अपने हैं ना, पाकिस्तान के हैं ना?
हाँ,
आप तो पाकिस्तान को अपना मुल्क मानते हैं कि नहीं?
जी बिल्कुल, हमारा पाकिस्तान हमारा मुल्क है।
आप तो पाकिस्तान को छोड़कर कहीं और जाना नहीं चाहेंगे?
नो।
फिर भी पाकिस्तान आपको पहचानने से इनकार कर रहा है।
हम अपील ही कर रहे हैं, और क्या करें? अपील है पाकिस्तान से कि हमें ले लें,
और नहीं लेंगे तो क्या? अब तो टाइम हो गया, अब तो परेड का टाइम हो गया। टूरिस्ट वापस जा रहे हैं परेड देखने के लिए। अब वो परेड का टाइम हो गया है और गेट बंद हो गया है। यहाँ क्या करिएगा फिर?
देखते हैं। अभी तो इधर ही खड़े हैं, हम परेशान हो जाएंगे।
यहाँ भी मना कर दिया गया है, पाकिस्तानी अब नहीं रह सकते हैं यहाँ पर भी। अब कह दिया गया है कि यहाँ पर रहेंगे तो अब कार्रवाई होगी, जेल में डाले जाएंगे।
देख रहे हैं, अभी देखते हैं।
बात हुई है क्या पाकिस्तान के कुछ अधिकारियों से वहाँ पर, यहीं पर कुछ एम्बेसी से बात हुई है?
नहीं, बात नहीं हुई किसी से भी।
अब पाकिस्तान के एम्बेसी में भी कोई बात नहीं हो रही है और ये कह रहे हैं, अपील कर रहे हैं। साहब, इनको अपील करना पड़ा है कि हमें वापस ले लो। पाकिस्तान की सरकार से, पाकिस्तान की सेना से अपील कर रहे हैं। जनरल वसीम मुनीर सुन लो, शहबाज शरीफ सुन लो, अपने नागरिक तुम्हारे अपील कर रहे हैं कि हमें वापस ले लो और धूप में यहाँ पर परेशान हो रहे हैं। ये भारत नहीं कर रहा है, ये पाकिस्तान कर रहा है। वो पाकिस्तान जो बड़ी बड़ी बातें करता है कि साहब हम एटम बम चलाएंगे, हम भारत पर वार करेंगे, हमारे नागरिक हमारे साथ हैं। आपके नागरिक आपके साथ नहीं हैं। आपके नागरिक यहाँ फंसे हुए हैं और ये लंबी लाइन लगी हुई है। उन बच्चों के साथ समझिए कि कई लोग जो हैं इस 9 बजे सुबह 9-10 बजे से परेशान हो रहे हैं और उन्हें परेशानी का सामना करना पड़ा है। लेकिन कुछ भारतीय जो यहाँ पर टूरिस्ट बनकर आए हैं उनसे भी पूछते हैं, आप लोग यहाँ परेड देखने आए हैं? हाँ जी। ये जो है ये पाकिस्तान के लोग हैं, इन्हें मना कर दिया है पाकिस्तान के लोगों ने वापस लेने से। हाँ। क्या कहेंगे? पाकिस्तानियों को ही वापस लेने से मना कर दिया है पाकिस्तान ने।
तो ये उनकी गलती है ना?
हाँ? क्या?
उसमें यूनिटी नहीं है ना?
नहीं है। अब भारत के लोग भी रिएक्शन दे रहे हैं। क्या कहेंगे? पाकिस्तान के लोगों को पाकिस्तान नहीं
उड़ा दिया जाए, पाकिस्तान को सीधा कहानियां खत्म कर दिया जाए,
उड़ा दिया जाए, ये उड़ा दिया जाए। ये इधर के लोग ये जो जा रहे हैं, ये गाड़ी मैं बता दूं इसमें कोई फर्क नहीं समझे। ये जो गाड़ियां जा रही हैं ये टूरिस्ट है। अब से कुछ देर बाद परेड शुरू होता है, बीटिंग रिट्रीट सेरेमनी। हालांकि उसमें भी जो रस्म अदायगी थी गेट खोलने की, हैंडशेक करने की, वो अब बंद हो चुकी है। अब सीधे तेवर दिखाते हैं हमारे बीएसएफ के जवान। वो भी ये तमाशा देख रहे हैं। ये तमाशा पाकिस्तान का ये तमाशा बन रहा है। पाकिस्तान अपना तमाशा बना रहा है इस अटारी बॉर्डर पर अपने नागरिकों को यहां धूप में छोड़कर। और ये
So, our colleague Sumit speaking to those people who've been asked to leave India, the Pakistanis who've been asked to leave the country. They're at the Atari border, but they are being refused entry into Pakistan. Now, a new crisis for them because they are being refused by their own country. Pakistan is refusing to take them in, and it's a direct comparison to those visuals from the Kargil war where Pakistan refused to take the bodies of its own soldiers, and that time in the Kargil war they refused their own dead. Now they are refusing their own living. Now Major General S.B. Asthana exposes how the dirt bolt of Pahalgam terror attack has backfired on Pakistan. He tells how TTP, Balochistan and India has created problems for the Pakistani army.
See, as far as Pakistan is concerned, they had a problem at hand, and especially their Pakistan military and their chief. The problem was they were unable to control what is happening in Balochistan because the Balochistan Liberation Army is targeting Pakistan military. Similarly, TTP is targeting Pakistan military. There is unrest going on in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir because those people feel that the development on the Indian side of line of control is much more, and they should not miss that kind of opportunity, and therefore they have also been disgruntled, and the kind of pressure which the military has put in all the three places has made Pakistan military very, very unpopular. The number of casualties which Pakistan is facing is far in excess of what they would have anticipated. About 5-6 years back, they were around number 6 in the terms of terrorism casualties. Today they are at number 2 in the global terror index. So therefore what has happened is they are finding it uncomfortable, and the best remedy which Pakistan military thinks is that okay, divert it to Kashmir, talk about Kashmir and talk about Hindu-Muslim, and in that case you may get the local attention, the domestic attention of the politicians and some kind of people support. That's what they think. They also analyze that as far as Pakistan is concerned, that their influence remains only when the Pakistan can, when they can talk about Pakistan being threatened by India. So India threat theory is another reason why they need to evoke that threat theory to ensure that all levers of power remain with the Pakistan army. Now, under these circumstances, the best way, what he thought was, Asif Munir came on air, he spoke about Hindu and Muslims can't stay together, although that's a separate issue, that in India we have more Muslims than Pakistan complete, and we are staying comfortably together. That's a separate issue. And his second issue was Kashmir. Now what they have done is, they have launched this attack. This is a professional military attack in which it may well happen that some of their special service guy would also be involved along with some of the terrorists. So I visualize that this attack was at a place wherein they thought and the modalities could stoke Hindu-Muslim divide, and the timings were so selected that they thought that perhaps a Waqf issue is one issue where perhaps there could be a divide. Similarly, Hindutva issue, similarly the elections, and these are some of these propagandas which they tried to stoke in along with this action. So this was an action on ground stoked with propaganda as well. Now with that, they thought that perhaps Indian society will get divided, but I think none of their aim has been fulfilled because the entire Kashmiris have taken it that it is an attack on their livelihood, and therefore everybody has gone against them. So therefore if they had any sympathy of any kind or any narrative to say that we stand with people of Kashmir, that stands defeated. Secondly, there has been no Hindu-Muslim divide anywhere in the country. Thirdly, the whole India stands together. So there are no frictions in India. And therefore, now there is a chance for us to stand and utilize the frictions which exist in Pakistan. That perhaps should be our call.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
हर भारतीय का खून आतंकी हमले की तस्वीरों को देखकर खौल रहा है।
इंडिया विल आइडेंटिफाई, ट्रैक एंड पनिश एवरी टेररिस्ट. We will pursue them to to the ends of the earth.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in impeace. Pakistan is responsible for my exodus from my home. It is responsible for killing my people. It's responsible for burning my schools, my home, raping my women folk, involving locals to see to it that I'm out of my house. And nearly 4.5 lakh people from my community, the entire community, left their homes and they were in the refugee camps in Jammu and other places of this country. And today also they are in the refugee camps in Jakti, near Udhampur. It's a country which should be declared as terrorist nation by India, if not United Nations, because I have no hopes on the powers apart from my country. Pakistan has been constantly troubling us. Blasts, attacks, massacres. It has constantly seen to it that our country, which is going on the rise, again comes down. It creates panic in our country.
Summer is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. I'm Niranjan, getting you the latest breaking updates on the India-Pakistan tension. There are live firing drills happening as we speak off the coast of Porbandar in Gujarat. Getting you that and more. Here are the headlines this evening. Partial coup in Pakistan after ISI Chief Lieutenant General Asim Malik is made NSA, or the National Security Advisor. Shehbaz Sharif, the Pakistan Prime Minister, sidelined by his army and the ISI. Pakistanis have refused to accept their own citizens at the Attari-Wagah border, closing all counters. Pakistanis are stranded. Pakistan won't take back Pakistanis. India likely to suspend shipping lines. Postal services, announcement soon. After Navy, the Coast Guard now increases patrolling in the northwestern region, joining the Navy as we send a message to Pakistan. Navy conducts a mega surface and subsurface exercise in the Arabian Sea off the coast of Gujarat. Will continue till the 2nd of May. As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, Republic reporting from across the international border and the line of control. Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get you the latest breaking news updates, let's tell you that both Indian Navy and the Pakistan Navies are holding live firing exercises off the coast of Gujarat as we speak. And let's tell you more about that. As we war game the entire scenario, my colleague Shawan is also joining us live on the broadcast. He's in the Republic War Room. I'm going across to Shawan right now. Shawan, over to you. He's with some of India's foremost defense experts joining us in our War Room on Republic TV.
को आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
Shawan, over to you. Go ahead, Shawan. Go ahead.
Well, Niranjan, back in our war room, the key discussion, the breaking news that has come in just a short while back was with regards to the military deal that has been signed. Now, with the Navy carrying out the exercises, and you have a deal that has been signed with the United States of America, $131 million, a clear signal that is being sent out that this time there is a different front that has opened up.
Yes, Indian Navy is always ready for its offensive posturing. And now in the present scenario, carrying out the exercises at sea is important to give our posturing to the adversaries.
But Captain, this is not very far away from where the military drill is happening as far as Pakistan is concerned. Help us understand that very area and what is the message that we are basically sending across, because this is not very far from Gwadar. This is not very far from the strategic ports of Pakistan. How do you help us? How do you make the most of this particular exercise?
Yes, Arabian Sea, North Arabian Sea is the sensitive area presently, and the Makran coast, which is having a port of Karachi and Gwadar now, these ports are important for us, and we have our own way to look at these ports for requirement of choking the sea lanes of communication in case of requirement. So when we talk about high sea, when we talk about the freedom of navigation, all the ships are at liberty to move around, and beyond 200 nautical mile and within the 200 nautical mile of exclusive economic zone as per UNCLOS 1982, all the ships can carry out operations. That's why we have a brush fire kind of things which happens on land, where we touch very close to each other, our aircraft fly close to each other, and which is happening in South China Sea very regularly. So you can see the same scenario happening in North Arabian Sea now, where we have the ships carrying out drill in very close proximity. We have our own set up norms. We maintain we exercise caution, but there are chances that we can go beyond. So therefore, the Indian Navy would be extremely cautious about the posturing, at the same time giving the right message.
Well, in fact, Niranjan, there's also breaking news now coming in with regards to the alerts that have been issued by the Navy. However, the alert is with regards to the firing range in that area and for the mariners to pass through. So these alerts have been put out. Group Captain Devnath, if I can take this question with you. With regards to the Air Force now, Preparations are underway. They've been extremely secretive and rightfully so. Having said that, where do you see the Air Force really playing a role right now? Given the fact that one role we have already played during Balakot, but how does that really change?
Oh yes, in case of any exigency, Air Force is tasked with air defense of skies over India. Similarly, during any skirmish, we have to ensure that the sky over army positions and naval positions are also clear of any enemy aircraft interference. In addition,
but Pakistan today is saying that they are basically fighting the Rafales which are coming very close. They are saying Rafales are coming very close. Is this some sort of a ghost narrative that Pakistan is building now?
oh yes, Pakistan, their Air Force is building up a narrative. Let me tell you what happens. During war or during period before war, Indian Air Force flies sorties along the border.
Right.
Main aim of flying these sorties is to see preparedness of Pakistan Air Force interceptor aircraft.
Right.
So we intentionally fly sometimes next to international border, like in this case these Rafales, thereby triggering a response from Pakistan Air Force. And we know, we calibrate and we record it. Open source, our airborne electronic warfare aircraft also flies there. They record that how much time Pakistan Air Force took to respond, which aircraft came, and most importantly, what type of formation or what type of tactics they were employing to threaten our aircraft.
Colonel Shailendra, moving on to what's really happening with the ceasefire violations that have taken place. Interestingly, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to point out here, this time, Pakistan has also targeted the international border. Now, many say that this is a little different, keeping in mind there was a ceasefire agreement that was already signed, and in a way it's an act of war. The ceasefire violations that we're really looking at least at the international border. Why is it different? Why is it significant?
Jai Hind, Namaskar. Shravan, I can only tell you one thing. When Pakistan says that there is an act of war, then that's their right.
Right.
It is only India which has been tolerant, who has not been treating a ceasefire violation as a
Colonel,
act of war.
help us understand, why is it rare? It is rare and it is an important message that we are sending across. Is Pakistan trying to draw us to this war?
If you have to very specifically ask me that, then I can only tell you that Pakistan narrative right now is in the world to convey that there is a likelihood of war which is coming from India.
Okay.
They want us to aggressive. They want us to be aggressive.
So you're saying they are trying to draw us?
Yes, they are definitely instigating us. They are trying their best that yes, they are the aggrieved party, without realizing that they stand actually today exposed. Ceasefire को क्रॉस करना या उसको डिसरप्ट करना, मेरे ख्याल जनरल कुलकर्णी ज़्यादा अच्छा बताएंगे, because it's a very strategic item. But at my level, let me tell you one thing. East, West, I don't know which is the best, but only best thing which my regiment is doing there is give a bloody befitting reply, give them such a reply, if you fire one round, I'll fire 100 rounds.
General Kulkarni, a war veteran here, and thank you very much, General Kulkarni, for taking out the time and coming to us, being a part of Republic Newsroom to understand the defense strategy. I want to ask you this question. It's a very significant development that has taken place in the last 48 hours. You're looking at several ceasefire violations. These are not normal ceasefire violations. Let's not forget, in the past, Pakistan has sent across their tanks. They wanted to draw us. There have been military history that basically indicates that Pakistan would want us to respond. What do you make, number one, of the ceasefire violation that took place yesterday at the international border? Is there a strong messaging that is coming across that we are reading into?
Thank you, Niranjan. At the very outset, I must thank you for inviting me. And I'm thoroughly impressed by the studio that you have. Lovely. Now, coming to the question of why the ceasefire violations are taking place. After the Indus Water Treaty that we held in abeyance, the Pakistanis said that the similar agreement does not hold, and therefore no ceasefire agreements are holding. You find Pakistan has all along after that, after 2021, since the ceasefire agreement was in place, there is no ceasefire agreement, and therefore Pakistan wants to continuously be firing. First, because of the jittery.
Okay.
Very scared, very jittery now, because they seem to be making kind of statements that India is going to attack them in the next 24 hours, 36 hours.
Okay.
Some of them feel that India is going to, nuke them, or they are trying to tell them that we are going to nuke India. They're trying to tell us that they have missiles and they have Hataf and they have Ghaznis and they're going to, to do all that. So this is border fear. But the retaliation by India has been so strong that you find most of the posts have been vacated by the Pakistani all along the LOC. So that's the first indication. It's not now, it is normally not so much of firing is done, but this is primarily because Pakistan is now rattled, scared, doesn't know what to do, and therefore it's more of like, trying to raise their own morale by pushing in as much of artillery, fire as much. Most of it is small arms. Most of it is in small arms. Yeah.
So, sir, why not thoko them nice and proper?
Yeah.
Well, if they are wanting this, let us have this.
Yeah,
if they are only going to understand this language, that okay, fire is the answer, let's thoko them nice and proper. Well, because if the sanctity is not there for them, then well, why am I holding back?
With you, it's free for all. What Shailendra wants to say is absolutely free for all, because if there is no similar agreement, if there's nothing to be held, then the question. See, all these options are there, definitely. We are not saying, but it would best be left to the people on ground to decide as to when they would want to use
this. Of course, there are a lot of speculations that are doing the round, but our military, unlike what happens in Pakistan, in fact, General Kulkarni, let me share this, also Colonel Shailendra, let me share this. Just about a few days ago, you've had the Pakistani soldiers who are basically moving towards the LOC, putting out videos of their own artillery movement. So, of course, we are not getting into that. General Kulkarni, let me also get a quick response from you with regards to the way India can actually respond. I'm given to understand there are plans that are already underway. Having said that, particularly in northern Kashmir, what we have seen that India wants to send across a strong message as far as the ceasefire violations are concerned. Probably that's step one of the big picture that may come up in the next few days.
See, ceasefire violations definitely are not tolerable. That is why you've had officer of the rank of brigadier from our side speak to the DGMO's office on the other side.
Right.
So there are this thing to be able to tell Pakistan in no certain terms that should this be carrying on, then the retaliations will be
What
harder.
happens in the DGMO? Just to give us an understanding, in the DGMO level talk, which happens regularly, which I'm given to understand every Tuesday that it takes place, how is it different in a situation like this?
Right now, since there is nothing, no similar agreement, no LOC, I would call it now the ex-LOC, and we carry on going back to the Karachi agreement, because that is what is in vogue. But notwithstanding and ensuring that the similar agreement, at least on paper, would be there for terms of LOC is concerned, the DGMOs invariably under normal circumstances would talk amongst themselves to see that if somebody stayed across, if this firing is there, which generally does stop. But in this particular case, you've not had the DGMO speak. You've had an officer of the rank of brigadier speak to them to be able to tell them and convey them in no uncertain terms that this is not acceptable. You would get it back, like what Shailendra said, you would get it back very badly. And therefore, if that is under...
They are allowed to speak any number of times. It's not specified to only a Tuesday or Wednesday. At the moment the Indian Army feels, it is able to ring up and tell them that this is the excess you are doing, and well, face the consequences.
Group Captain, let me also bring back the Air Force. The focus on the Air Force. Air Force has been extremely discreet over the last few days, particularly in the action mode that they are getting into. Many would really want to understand from you, is there a possibility that the Navy and the Army basically coordinate in terms of a dual attack? A dual attack, is that a possibility?
Oh yes, definitely. Whenever there is a war, commanders at strategic level, say at Army Chief, Naval Chief, Air Force Chief, will definitely like that Pakistan's resources are stretched. So probably an exercise and subsequently will culminate like that only, wherein Navy overwhelms their Karachi and Gwadar port, blockades them so that no
so you are
commercial
suggesting
ship...
tri-services?
Oh yeah. And Army,
we are always like this.
Army will engage them across LOC in J&K, and Indian Air Force will ensure that skies over Pakistan airspace are dominated by us, so that
this
they
would
do
be
not
perhaps
have
for the first time, if at all this is a
freedom of
military option.
mobility.
Not the first time.
Air Force will ensure that their resources do not move within Pakistan. If they try and move any resources through land, through civilian hired truck, or through railways within Pakistan, and if it comes to our notice, Air Force notice, will blow their supply ships, will blow their railway racks. Most importantly, will blow up their convoys, which are taking logistic supplies to the battlefield.
Okay, Captain, let me also take you through the developments that have taken place in the Navy. And interestingly, the drill that is actually happening right now, it's barely few nautical miles that you're really looking at. And if I remember correctly, this has not really happened in the recent past. If I'm not wrong, we have not seen this happening perhaps in the last few years itself. What do you really make of it?
It's not so exactly. I am an aircraft carrier pilot myself and have been on the operations, and I had seen enough. As a warship captain, I have experienced these issues a lot. Many times we have Pakistani ships coming close by. We have a Shadow X, we have our P-type aircraft, we have our Dorniers, we have our ships, which go around and actually makes them go away from our area of interest. So this exercise is basically posturing. You like to throw your assets at sea to show them what you have. In actual case, suppose your aircrafts are flying, your MiG-29s are operational, your MH-60 helicopters are dunking, anti-defense, air defense, anti-submarine screen, anti-submarine, multi-axis threat defense. All these formations are at sea and they are showing their might. If the adversaries are around, they will see it. They will know your capabilities, what you are going to actually do. And one more thing I would like to tell you. You see, India has banned the merchant ships of Pakistani to come to the Indian harbors. Now, this is a very important issue. We are not only exercising in North Arabian Sea. We have our eyes on Gulf of Hormuz. We have our eyes on the Bab al-Mandeb. We have eyes on this, the Sundra Strait. Because the sea lanes of communication needs to be, our submarines would be around. We would be on deterrence patrol. We have SSBN. So look at those things, which are surprise move. They will maneuver at the right opportunity, at the right target. So Navy is exercising and doing its job.
Well, gentlemen, there's also another interesting thing that is actually happening, and my colleague Niranjan is going to get us the latest details. In fact, Pakistan, like usual, has been imploding. This time, there is a partial coup, and I'm going to explain this. What's the partial coup that we are really talking about in Pakistan? Over to you, Niranjan.
Shravan, the breaking news update that came in is of the partial coup wherein the ISI, the Pakistan ISI, has now completely taken over. The Pakistan Army Chief, Asim Munir, has ensured that his favorite ISI chief, Lieutenant General Asim Malik, has also taken charge as the NSA, which means ISI chief now has a dual role in Pakistan. ISI chief also becomes the NSA, and along with the Pakistan Army Chief, Asim Munir, they call the shots in Pakistan. Shehbaz Sharif has been sidelined completely. I'm handing it over to you, Shravan. If you can take this question with Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni on what this means, the partial coup, Shravan.
Well, in fact, that's an interesting point.
You can take it to him.
It's an effective coup, if I may say so. I'll get that mic for you. It's an effective coup. The reason why I'm saying we are using this word effective coup is because you have the Pakistan ISI chief doubling up the role. This has not happened. Does that indicate that there is a clear divide between the civilian government and the Pakistani army, and the fact that Pakistani army is once again trying to strengthen their base here?
Probably, Niranjan, I think the chief of the army staff of the Pakistan army has lost trust and faith of his own people. Reportedly, about 250 odd officers have almost put in their papers. There were 2,000 to 3,000 men have put in their papers. You find along the LOC, people are running back. They're bringing down the Pakistani flags and going back. Indicative that this Hafiz Munir seems to be having difficulty with his own people. And why the DG ISI has been made the National Security Advisor is because he's the one who actually brought in Sheikh Hasina, because he was the one tasked to make sure that Sheikh Hasina is overthrown, and that someone of their choice, because it was ISI that was playing a big role. And the Munir himself is an ex-DG ISI who was responsible for Pulwama. So therefore, he feels that his own man over there, and whatever has got to be done. Reportedly, even I understand that their chief is also missing. He's not there, almost missing in action for the last about a week or so. He's not on the social media. There's no account of his, and nobody knows what he's doing. So there is a likely coup that may have taken place, or some kind of a misunderstanding or a hatred towards him, because he was also not considered a very stable general, and that Nawaz Sharif himself was not very
comfortable with
this man.
Colonel Shailendra, can I then ask you, what's really happening? Because why was he so desperate? Because one, the man who created this entire Pulwama episode, the man who right from the beginning, we are given to understand it is General Asim Munir who created this entire plan as far as Pulwama is concerned. And the fact that he wanted to bring back, keep the pot boiling as far as Kashmir is concerned. And that's the reason why this has happened. But where is he losing out right now? Is he losing out?
Shravan, I'll request you, I take objection to calling him journal, because he's no more a journal. He's a Maulana, he's a mullah.
Because of his radical,
the way, no,
the closest, no, it's a fact. It's a fact.
Pakistanis who are saying,
and he has had the most radical teachings, and the fact that he has his entire family, entire lineage.
I don't mind his lineage. What I'm trying to say is, there is a parliamentarian of Pakistan who has said that he will be giving the azan next time.
He has, if I'm not wrong, as far as my information goes, he every verses of that he has recited, and that the very fact that he has his entire family part of the entire the Islamic culture. But having said that, it's the radical Islamic culture that he has basically.
So sirf ab azan dena hi reh gaya tha na. So now Parliament is saying, that lady is saying, Khan, that, and she is the wife of a ex-ISI, by the way, and she has openly said that he is the next man to give the azan now.
Right.
I think there's an indicator available in a parliament. Now coming to the coup, that silent coup which is already on. Why is he not visible? Why is he not in action?
So who's in charge now? Who's in charge?
Oh, he's doing it from background. Obviously, that bunker which is underground. You know why? Because he has been advised. And when we are analyzing about the silent coup, why he's not seen with the government? Why is he not seen in the committees? Why is he not in the Cabinet Committee of Security? Why is he not visible anywhere?
That's a very interesting point, Niranjan. Colonel Sadanand makes a very interesting point. Not a single photograph. In fact, if I'm not wrong, the Pakistan Prime Minister had put out a photograph, but he's not there, if I'm not wrong. Or he's there.
He was there in that parade of the
officers, the candidates. Correct. That was after that's the last picture. 6 days back. 6 days back, Niranjan, you've had the Pakistani army chief being seen in public, and thereafter he's completely disappeared.
Thank you for that, Shravan. Taking a short break here on Republic TV, we are coming back to you with some more breaking news updates. There are some very, very fast-paced developments. At the Attari-Wagah border, Pakistan is telling Pakistanis, we don't want you back. Reminded us of 1999, and you just saw what happened there. The army coup report of what Musharraf did, reminder of 1999. And you look at how Pakistan is not taking back Pakistanis. Takes us back to the Kargil war when they refused to take back bodies of their own soldiers. Back with that report, stay tuned.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिर्फ जल जीरा मसाला।
हर भारतीय का खून आतंकी हमले की तस्वीरों को देखकर खौल रहा है।
India will identify, track and punish every terrorist. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth.
Here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in impeace. Pakistan is responsible for my exodus from my home. It is responsible for killing my people. It's responsible for burning my schools, my home, raping my women folk, involving locals to see to it that I'm out of my house. And nearly 4.5 lakh people from my community, the entire community, left their homes and they were in the refugee camps in Jammu and other places of this country. And today also they are in the refugee camps in Jakti, near Udhampur. It's a country which should be declared as terrorist nation by
Be proud to be a tank man. Be proud to be a tank man. There's no one like a tank man. There's no one like a...
You're watching live and breaking at 4:30 with me, Shah Vincent, taking you through the latest details now coming in with the Navy carrying out exercises off the coast of Gujarat. All this and much more in this edition, but up first, let's take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Partial coup in Pakistan after ISI Chief General Sadanand Malik made National Security Advisor Shehbaz Sharif sidelined by Pakistan ISI. Pakistanis have refused to accept their own at the Atari border closes all counters. India likely to suspend shipping lines and postal services to Pakistan, announcement likely soon. After Navy, Coast Guard has now increased patrolling in the northwestern region. Indian Navy conducts mega surface and subsurface exercise in Arabian Sea. Exercise to continue till 2nd of May. As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, Republic reports from the border front line. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates Waves 2025 to boost India's global media and entertainment reach. Well, starting this edition with the latest report coming in from the line of control. Republic with the maximum reporters gets you an insight as to how India has essentially responded to the cowardly attack of Pahalgam. And not just that, over the last few days, multiple ceasefire violations that have taken place along the line of control as well as the international border. This report comes in from the line of control from Uri, filed by my colleague Rakshita.
Right now reporting from Jammu Kashmir's Uri, very close to the line of control, and on our way is the last village at the LOC, that is the Charunda village. Right now it's raining and you can see there are foggy weather, the visibility has gone low, and this is why the security has been beefed up, because this is a very ripe situation for an infiltration bid of the terrorists. Given the weather condition, the terrorists take advantage of such a situation, especially when the visibility goes down, and they could in fact try and infiltrate, and henceforth the security has been beefed up along the way, viewers. And remember, a lot of tensions between India and Pakistan right now at the LOC. The bunkers are being made, community bunkers are being made, and henceforth all the security forces right now, as we report from here, are on high alert.
Taking you now to the state of Punjab, where the border areas have once again been fortified. Villages where bunkers have been created. Now this report comes in from a village called Khemkaran in Punjab. Take a look.
और ये 3 से 4 बंकर हैं. एक बंकर के अंदर मैं जाकर आपको दिखाता हूं कि किस तरह से यहाँ पर दुश्मन अगर आगे आ गया, बॉर्डर क्रॉस कर लिया, तो कैसे वहाँ हमें जवाब देना है. ये देखिए यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है MMG 20-21 MMG, यानी MMG से यहाँ पर फायर होता है. मैं इस बंकर के अंदर जाता हूँ, थोड़ा अंधेरा है लेकिन आपको दिखाने की कोशिश करता हूँ. फिलहाल ये बंकर जो बनाए गए हैं उसमें स्पेस है कि 3 से 4 सोल्जर यहाँ पर रह सकते हैं, और यहाँ छिपकर ज़मीन के नीचे ये बंकर बने हुए हैं, ये वार कर सकते हैं. और ये जगह है यहाँ पर 2 MMG यहाँ पर तैनात किए जा सकते हैं. और ये देखिए, ये जो सिरा है यहीं पर रहकर और दुश्मन को छिपकर यहाँ से वार किया जा सकता है. अगर दुश्मन ने आगे बढ़ने की ज़रा से भी हिमाकत की तो यहाँ से वार किया जा सकता है. इस तरह के जो बंकर हैं, ये करीब 5 से 6 बंकर यहाँ बनाए गए हैं, और इस बंकर में यहाँ पर 2 सोल्जर एक साथ तैनात हो सकते हैं, बैकअप के लिए भी यहाँ रह सकते हैं. ये बंकर अभी बनाया गया था उस लड़ाई के बाद से ही डिफेंस के लिए. ये देखकर लग सकता है कि बहुत मजबूत स्थिति में ये बंकर हैं, अभी तैयार हैं. कहीं से भी कोई भी वार करने के लिए अगर पाकिस्तानी आते हैं तो हम उन्हें करारा जवाब दे सकते हैं. इधर मेरे पीछे आप देख सकते हैं कि ये बंकर इस तरह के और भी हैं जो लगातार यहाँ पर तैनाती के लिए, इस तरह के बंकर और भी हैं. मैं ज़रा उमेश आप आगे आएँ तो कुछ और भी बंकर हैं, और ये बंकर बहुत मजबूत बनाए गए हैं, बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं. यहाँ तक तो आ ही नहीं सकते, लेकिन अगर कोई आता है तो फिलहाल उसके बाद फिर यहाँ तैनाती की जाती है, MMG के साथ यहाँ पर तैनाती की जाती है, ताकि दुश्मन इससे आगे ना बढ़ सके. कहीं से भी घुसपैठ अगर होती है तो घुसपैठियों को भी जवाब दिया जाए. इस तरह के बंकर एक और हैं, ये करीब पूरा आगे तक 5 से 6 बंकर हैं. ये बंकर भी है, फिलहाल इसे बंद की, ये बंद है फिलहाल अंदर से. ये यहाँ भी इसे हम खोलने की कोशिश, ये बंद किया गया है. एक बंकर हमने दिखाया. इस तरह के कई सारे बंकर आगे तक बने हुए हैं, और ये बताता है कि कैसे तैयारी बहुत स्ट्रांग है, पूरी है. हर जगह से, हर मोर्चे से हम जवाब देने के लिए तैयार हैं.
Well, one of the reasons why most of these villages across the line of control are now taking some bold measures. That's because in any sort of eventuality, you have the villages being the worst affected. Now, in some of these villages, they've already started carrying out certain defense programs. In fact, we're given to understand these are part of a self-defense program that has been carried out in some parts of the LOC. This is a report coming in from my colleague Arawat. क्या बोला? Latest images now coming in from the line of control, where we're being told that civil defense forces have actually reached. My colleague Arawat there, as we're being told that the civil defense services essentially trying to help the villagers to try and help the locals to fortify the area and create the bunkers in those areas. This report now coming in from the LOC. Well, across the country, there is one growing sentiment that it is time to pay back Pakistan. In fact, this report also comes in from the state of Arunachal Pradesh, where several tourists who are there essentially demanding that it is time that Pakistan is shown the mirror. This is a report filed by my colleague Anirudh.
In Eastern Front, Tawang is one of the most visited tourist destination, and even after the escalation in the Western Front, particularly in Pahalgam and Kashmir Valley, there have been rise in tourist footfall in Tawang. We are with some tourists out here in Tawang. We'll listen to them. They had also visited Kashmir earlier. They are now in Arunachal Pradesh. What are the concerns they share? How they see the experiences in border places, and also the hostilities, be it from the Pakistan side or here in the LSE from the Chinese side. There have been hostilities as far as our neighbors are concerned. So how do you see this hostility and the threats that are being issued by China, as well as the threat that has already been triggered by Pakistan?
As far as Pakistan, the recent incidents which happened in Pahalgam, it was a dastardly act, and it was a planned terrorist attack where Hindus were attacked. तो अभी it's time, हम लोग बहुत सालों से देखते आ रहे हैं पाकिस्तान की ये दहशतगर्दी, terrorism. Now it's time to give them back, and give them back in a way they will never forget in life.
Well, let's also take you through some more details now coming in. There is also breaking news coming in with regards to an INS warship that is just docked in Surat. In fact, we're going to take you through the latest details coming in as the Navy carries out multiple exercises, particularly the western border is where you have the Indian Navy not only carrying out drills, but these exercises are also to send across a message to the Pakistani. Barely few nautical miles from where the Pakistanis are carrying out their exercises, you have Indian Navy carrying out full-fledged exercises along with the Coast Guard. This morning news also came in of the Indian Coast Guard essentially carrying out sub-surveillance that has been carried out. Subsurface surveillance, I beg your pardon, was carried out by the Indian Coast Guard, particularly in the forward areas along with the Indian Navy. We'll try and see if we can take you through the latest visuals coming in of the INS warship that has just docked in Surat just a short while back. In fact, this comes at a time when the exercises are being carried out. In fact, this was also welcomed by the leaders in the area, local leaders welcoming the crew members of INS Surat. This is the guided missile warship that is the destroyer that is basically docked in Surat, and one of the recently commissioned now let's take you through the latest details coming in on your screens right now. Latest visuals coming in of Indian Navy's warship that has reached Surat, advanced warship that is docked at the Adani port in Surat. That's the latest coming in with regards to the developments that are essentially taking place. Now, important to point out here is that INS Surat happens to be a guided missile warship. It has some of the state-of-the-art technology and weaponry system installed here. This is a newly commissioned warship that has also been brought in by the Indian Navy. Now, in terms of a simple comparison of the naval power between India and Pakistan, remember, India has a far superior naval power, and that is the reason why, remember, one of the areas where the Pakistanis perhaps are extremely worried is whether at all their Karachi coast remains completely open, and the fact that this could actually lead to a disastrous consequence, what it has happened in the past also in the lead up to the wars that have taken place between India and Pakistan. Take a look at this detailed report that we have put together for you to get a better understanding of the naval exercises that are being carried out.
The tremors from New Delhi have reached Islamabad. Rattled and panicked, Pakistan is on the back foot. Prime Minister Modi granting the Indian Armed Forces full operational freedom to avenge the Pahalgam massacre has thrown Pakistan into a frenzy. And India has intensified its military readiness. The Indian Navy has issued 4 green notifications for firing in a coastal area of the Gujarat coast, just 85 nautical miles from the region where Pakistan is currently conducting its naval drills in the Arabian Sea. Indian Navy has been carrying out various exercises with more demonstrations scheduled over the coming days. The firing notifications are valid from April 30th to May 3rd, 2025. Pakistan has issued its 4th naval missile firing notification in the past week, but has not launched any missile on the previous 3 occasions. The Indian Navy is closely monitoring the situation and Pakistan's activities in the region. These live drills come days after the indigenous guided missile destroyer INS Surat tested a medium-range surface-to-air missile. As India prepares to cut Terror State Park deep, the growing chorus is one: revenge next.
As tension escalates along the border, Pakistan's inferiority is completely reflected in several of the moves that they have made so far. India's military superiority is something that has already been well documented and well displayed all through. In this fiery episode, you have Lieutenant General Raj Shukla taking you through an unfiltered analysis of where India stands at this point in time.
It's been a week since the gruesome, dastardly, cowardly attack in Pahalgam of the 22nd of April, which was enabled by the dog whistling of General Sadanand Date on the 16th of April. And we've all seen that. In the week since, a lot of stuff has happened. Just yesterday, we saw the Prime Minister chairing a meeting with the Honorable Raksha Mantri, the NSA, the CDS, and the 3 service chiefs. So let us now take a view on what the likely state of play is. Well, one thing is clear, that Pakistan has thrown down the gauntlet at us. It is challenging our secular fabric, our democratic flow, the return of normalcy to Jammu and Kashmir. It has challenged Bharat and its Bharatiyata. It is also clear that the response to this is going to be potent, calibrated, surgical, and powerful. Now, in the bevy of measures that have been taken, from the Indus Water Treaty to cancellation of visas, so on and so forth, to me it does appear that the response will be led, at the forefront of the response will be calibrated military kinetics. Pakistan will feel the brunt of India's military power. Now, this calibrated military kinetics could take various forms across domains: land, sea, air, EW, space, cyber. It will be applied across the escalatory ladder where there are numerous options. there are as many instruments, from special forces to air power to perhaps a blockade. There will also be a very careful choice of the target array. It could be training camps, it could be launch pads of terror, it could be Pakistan ISI installations and the Pakistan Army itself, because this time the architect-in-chief is nobody else than General Asim Munir. In my view, the Indian Armed Forces are broad, they are deep, and they have a wide array of instruments at their disposal. Just look at the air dimension. We have the S-400, which has a range of 600 kilometers. The Pakistanis, even if they have the latest version of the HQ-9 surface-to-air missile, has a range of just 300 kilometers. The Rafale is a 4.5 generation aircraft with Astra beyond visual range missiles, 100 kilometers. The Scalp, the Meteor. The F-16 is only 4th generation. Look at the naval domain. The number of combatant vessels that we have is close to 300, 294. The Pakistanis barely get past the 100 mark. We have 2 aircraft carriers, he has none. We have number of submarines, those which are nuclear powered. We have the sea leg of the nuclear triad. The Pakistan doesn't have this. Let's not go into the land domain where our tanks, 4,000 to 2,000. Artillery pieces, 3 times more of the Pakistanis. So not only in terms of the orchestration of the power, the calibrated military kinetics, but also in bean count, we have a huge lead. Let me also say from another military metric, from the standpoint of another military metric, we retain the ability to control what is known as escalatory dominance in the land, sea, air, conventional, and even the nuclear domain. It's also time to call the schoolboy bluff of the Pakistanis with regarding to their brandishing these nuclear weapons. See, we will not go by the red lines that they tell us that these are the red lines. We know what their red lines are, and we will so orchestrate the battle so as to keep it below the threshold of the nuclear dimension. So I think in sum, the Pakistanis have committed a grievous error in that gruesome, dastardly assault where they fell so low that they resorted to religious terror, communal terror, religious targeting, where, honeymoons were turned into funerals, where fathers were gunned down to death in front of their sons. This is a big challenge for India and its statecraft. And I have little doubt that this time Pakistan will feel the might and potency of Indian military power being unleashed on them. Thank you.
Place coming in from Pakistan, where Chinese ambassador to Pakistan just held a meeting with the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. In fact, during this meeting, the Prime Minister has basically conveyed his wishes to the President and Premier. On your screens right now, these are the latest visuals coming in right now from Pakistan of the meeting that took place between the Chinese ambassador and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Remember, you've had the Pakistanis extremely worried right now. They say that India is going to attack in the next few hours, and that is the reason why they believe that they need to guard up. In fact, they have now got across to the United Nations begging them for some sort of a help as far as this matter is concerned, hoping that they will be able to dial down the tension. You've had Nawaz Sharif actually advising his own brother that he needs to dial down the tension with India and hope for a diplomatic resolution. And thereafter, you've had several of the Pakistani ministers making several comments with regards to if at all India basically carries out an attack, how exactly will they really respond. Now, in the backdrop of that, you've had the Chinese basically coming in. Now, there are several accusations that have been leveled against the Chinese that in a clandestine manner, they're basically trying to also equip the Pakistani army at this point in time in terms of weapon transfers. Now, these are allegations that have been leveled against the Chinese, whether at all they are or not, because for the first time you've had the Chinese also calling out the Pakistanis as far as the terror attack that took place in Pahalgam. But having said that, these meetings are a clear reflection of the fact that Pakistan is extremely worried because they do not know what's really coming their way. And the fact that if at all there is a full-fledged war that actually takes place, whether at all Pakistan will be able to sustain all this by themselves. And that is the reason why the Chinese help becomes extremely crucial at this point in time. This entire meeting with the Chinese ambassador, we are being told, the latest inputs now coming in from our reporters in Pakistan is the fact that this is the first meeting that has taken place between Shehbaz Sharif and Chinese ambassador. This meeting comes in the backdrop of several attacks that have actually taken place in Balochistan. And the fact of the matter is this, that Pakistan finds itself split at two ends, one at the Durand line and here as far as the western border is, our western border is concerned. So at clear ends, in both these cases you're seeing Pakistan being completely stretched out at this stage, and that is the reason why a Chinese intervention is what the Pakistanis are really hoping. You have the ambassador of China going and meeting right now Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. This is the latest information coming in. Well, it's the same old rhetoric. You have the former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, as well as Farooq Abdullah, who is once again advocating for those very terrorists who have been involved in the Pahalgam attack. Following the Pahalgam attack, remember, you've had the security forces completely demolishing the houses of these active terrorists operating from Pakistan. Their residents were basically demolished by the security forces. You have Mehbooba Mufti and Farooq Abdullah, they're bleeding heart right now for these very active terrorists, saying that demolition of their houses wasn't really appropriate. Well, in fact, this is not the first statement that Mehbooba Mufti has made in favor of these very terrorists. In fact, she has gone a step ahead. And now you have Farooq Abdullah also joining the same very bandwagon. Listen in to both the leaders.
कई लोगों के मकान उड़ाए गए. अब मुझे बताइए, अगर बेटा मिलिटेंट बन जाता है तो बाप की क्या जिम्मेवारी है उसमें? माँ की या बहनों की क्या जिम्मेवारी है? उड़ा दिया. किस लिए उड़ा दिया? मुझे बताइए, उससे क्या हम लोग मजबूत होंगे? उससे जो हमारी यकजहती है, क्या उस पर धक्का नहीं आ सकता? लोग नहीं सोचेंगे ये क्या हो रहा है? इन्हें हर बात पे 1000 दफ़ा सोचना चाहिए. उस एक्शन से कहीं हमारे में जो एक यकजहती हो गई है उससे नुकसान तो नहीं पहुंचे, मगर वो दफ्तरों में बैठ के ये फैसले करते हैं, ये नहीं देखते हैं कि इसका असर क्या होगा. I don't think between India and Pakistan relations will ever improve unless the army goes. People of Pakistan want friendship with India. People, but not the hierarchy there. When the people's government will come, I am sure there will be peace between India and Pakistan. Thank you.
मेरी गुजारिश है होम मिनिस्टर साहब से कि हम समझते हैं, हम तकलीफ को समझते हैं, हम इस तकलीफ को महसूस करते हैं. तो पूरे मुल्क में गुस्सा है, मगर जम्मू कश्मीर के लोग जो उन्होंने इस तकलीफ को 30-35 साल से बर्दाश्त किया, और हम समझते हैं इस बात को. तो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि जैसे जो मिलिटेंट्स के साथ डील करते हुए ये ज़रूरी है कि ध्यान रखा जाए कि आम लोगों के घर न गिराया जाए. और इसी तरह जो आपने एक एडवाइजरी की है कि जो लोग यहाँ बाहर से आए हुए हैं, पाकिस्तान से आए हुए, तो उसमें कोई ऐसे लोग हैं, ऐसी औरतें हैं जिनकी शादी 30 साल 40 साल पहले हुई है, या मतलब जिनके बच्चे हैं, ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन हैं, उनका घर तो हिंदुस्तान है, वो तो अपने आप को हिंदुस्तानी समझते हैं, वो इस वक्त इस उम्र में कहाँ जाएंगे. तो मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि होम मिनिस्टर साहब इसका सिंपैथेटिक व्यू लेंगे और इस तरह से जो है उन लोगों को अपना घर बार छोड़ने के लिए, क्योंकि आज तक 30 साल से 40 साल से रह रहे हैं और वो कभी भी उन्होंने मुल्क के खिलाफ कोई कार्रवाई नहीं, कोई काम नहीं किया।
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते and they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
सिली मियाँ थॉट
Cricket fans.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
हर भारतीय का खून आतंकी हमले की तस्वीरों को देखकर खौल रहा है।
इंडिया विल आइडेंटिफाई, ट्रैक एंड पनिश every terrorist. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
I am a victim of terrorism. I suffered the worst possible genocide and ethnic cleansing. Terrorism unleashed by my neighbor country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a terror nation, it's a terrorist nation. It believes in terrorism, it believes in violence, it believes in killings, it believes in rapes. It believes in bloodshed. It believes in bomb blasts. It believes in war. And it believes in impeace. Pakistan is responsible for my exodus from my home. It is responsible for killing my people. It's responsible for burning my schools, my home, raping my women folk, involving locals to see to it that I'm out of my house. And nearly 4.5 lakh people from my community, the entire community, left their homes and they were in the refugee camps in Jammu and other places of this country. And today also they are in the refugee camps in Jakti, near Udhampur. It's a country which should be declared as terrorist nation by India, if not United Nations, because I have no hopes on the powers apart from my country. Pakistan has been constantly troubling us. Blast.
Summer is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hi there, welcome to 5 p.m. Live and breaking. Once it refused to take its soldiers who were martyred for them, killed by Indian Army Pak during the Kargil war. Now Pakistan refuses to take its own citizens. Even as a veritable coup is panning out in Islamabad with Rawalpindi generals plotting and scheming against the civilian government. Well, that's our focus. Let's begin with the headlines. Partial coup in Pakistan after ISI chief Lieutenant General Asim Malik made NSA, the National Security Advisor, Shehbaz Sharif, sidelined by the Pak ISI. Pakistanis have refused to accept their own at the Atari border, closes all counters. India likely to suspend shipping lines and postal services to Pakistan, announcement likely soon. After Navy, Coast Guard has now increased patrolling in the northwestern region. Indian Navy conducts mega surface and subsurface exercise in Arabian Sea. Exercises to continue till 2nd of May. That's tomorrow. As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, Republic reports from the border front line. And Prime Minister at a global media event inaugurates Waves 2025 to boost India's global media and entertainment reach. All right, let's begin with a breaking news development coming in from Islamabad, where it seems the Chinese are now getting in. The Chinese ambassador to Pakistan has had a meeting with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. And during this meeting, it seems that Shehbaz Sharif sought more support from the Chinese even as they face war, after eliciting the help of Allah, like it happened in the case of the Pakistani Defense Minister last evening. Now, on the ground, the Pakistanis want the Chinese to come to their rescue if there is a war. When India retaliates and responds to the Pahalgam terror attack, the Pakistanis, already jittery and nervous, are seeking Chinese help. And these are pictures from Islamabad, where the Chinese envoy to Pakistan is meeting Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Now look at this. An ambassador level officer meeting in a delegation format, and that gives you an idea of who controls the Pakistanis effectively. The Chinese ambassador meeting there. And we are going to have a reporter live soon. Essentially, these are pictures coming in from Islamabad. And remember, China is the only country which has very publicly stated that it's going to militarily stand with Pakistan. We had their Foreign Minister Wang Yi forgetting all the understandings reached as part of a thaw between India and China, and quickly changing colors and announcing that if Pakistan finds itself in difficulty, China would stand by its side. An all-weather friendship there. And we are seeing in these pictures how Chinese effectively control. You look at the body language, you realize that, look at this body language. Shehbaz Sharif, an expression of helplessness and they have Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar, and there is a looming army officer in the backdrop also sitting there, and this could possibly be General Asim Mulk. We have to again look at the pictures to realize if that is the case, because Pakistani ISI has effectively carried out a coup by planting the ISI chief as the National Security Advisor, and yes, that seems to be the case. Okay, let's go to Shawan Sen, our senior editor. He's joining us live from newsroom. Shawan, these pictures really give us an idea of the kind of relationship that exists between China and Pakistan, with Pakistan, of course, the junior partner, effectively a protectorate of Pakistan, of China. Given the announcements that have come in from Beijing, Shawan, you think they are discussing a possible Indian response and how China and Pakistan could coordinate?
Well, two quick points here, Abhishek. One, with regards to the fact that, look at the timing of this meeting. This meeting takes place at a time when there is an effective coup that is taking place. For the first time, you have the NSA, the National Security Advisor, being doubled up by an Pakistani army general. Secondly, you do not have the Pakistani army general to be seen in public for the last 6 days. He wasn't seen before that. Now, it's important to point out here is that the Pakistanis are essentially relying upon the Chinese help. And there are multiple reports that basically suggest that there is a possible weapon transfer that is actually taking place. Now, there is nothing to really authenticate the information really coming in at this point in time, but multiple reports suggesting that the Chinese is coming to some sort of a rescue for the Pakistanis right now at a time when they're losing the plot. Look at what has happened in Balochistan over the last 48 hours. And the fact that several of the Chinese projects are under complete threat in Balochistan itself, and that is the reason why the Chinese would be effectively worried at this point in time. The second is that Pakistanis do find themselves completely stretched at this stage, and that is the reason why. Remember, in the last few hours, in the last few days in particular, you have seen the Pakistani army even deserting their own posts along the line of control. So the situation is quite dire. Secondly, you've had the Pakistani establishment in complete loggerheads with the Pakistani army. Nawaz Sharif had to actually step in, advising his own brother that find a resolution with India. Then you have had the Pakistani defense minister invoking Allah. Third, you have had the foreign minister basically responding to this entire issue by simply saying, putting out that the empty threat of a nuclear war to basically take place. So right now they are in a complete disarray as far as the Pakistani army and the ISI is concerned. Right now, remember, the Pakistani army chief wanted to just consolidate his position, and that is the reason why the kind of warmongering that has taken place on the part of the Pakistani army general, which hasn't really gone down well with the Pakistani establishment, and effectively you have the favorites now basically taking over in Pakistan.
Right, Shawan, thank you so much with those updates. Clearly a case of Pakistan beefing up its support with its allies, anticipating, as we have seen in those statements coming in from their leadership, a response, a military response from India, which obviously would come. But Pakistan is there clearly going with a begging bowl, eliciting support. For now, we leave it there, and moving on, we have in fact a breaking news coming in, which is that immigration sources say that Pakistan has refused to accept its own citizens. These are the citizens who were deported by India. We now learn that Pakistanis have refused to accept their own at the Atari border. The Indian immigration services have confirmed this information, and Pakistan has closed all counters and refused to take back their own Atari border since today early morning 8 o'clock time. And look at these pictures. There was a time when Pakistan refused to take the bodies of its soldiers who were killed by Indian forces in the armed conflict during Kargil, and now refusing its citizens themselves. We have a ground report from Atari Wagah border, filed by Sumit Jha. Let's have a look.
और ये 3 से 4 बंकर हैं. एक बंकर के अंदर मैं जाकर आपको दिखाता हूं कि किस तरह से यहाँ पर दुश्मन अगर आगे आ गया, बॉर्डर क्रॉस कर लिया, तो कैसे वहाँ हमें जवाब देना है। ये देखिए यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है MMG 20-21 MMG, यानी MMG से यहाँ पर फायर होता है। मैं इस बंकर के अंदर जाता हूँ, थोड़ा अंधेरा है लेकिन आपको दिखाने की कोशिश करता हूँ। फिलहाल ये बंकर जो बनाए गए हैं उसमें स्पेस है।
Okay, we cut out of it because there is another breaking news development, which is that Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has spoken to his United States counterpart and Pete Hegseth. This information coming in through sources, and this comes on the back of External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar getting a call from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, which happened late last night, post midnight in fact. So within a day now, topmost level engagement happening between India and the United States. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar talking to his counterpart Marco Rubio, who's Secretary of State, and Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense of the United States, is speaking to Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. These are, of course, talks in the backdrop of the ongoing situation on India's western front with Pakistan and India deciding to inflict costs of terror. And while we build up to our kinetic or military response, the world wants to obviously engage, to which, of course, there is no problem. We continue to do that. And in these conversations, impress upon the world community to understand